Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Banff. We're here at the Banff Curling Club. My name's Stephen Young, and I'm pleasured to be joined by Mike Libis again from Okotoks. We gave him the night off. We told him, go have dinner with your wife. And he said no, but we got Carly, and we got that to happen. But back to what we're doing here today. We've got our feature match, Team Cooey, who won last night at the 8 p.m. draw over Team Hodgson. We'll be playing against Team Kennedy, who won last night over Team Sturmey. Mike, a bit of an upset, I'd say, although Team Kennedy has been very sharp in their first two games here.
Yeah, Team Kennedy's on a little bit of a roll here. They've won two in a row. They beat a tough team last night, Team Sturmey, who was the runner-up last weekend in Airdrie. So they'll be coming in hot, ready to go, and they're going to have to be playing one of the best teams in the world.
And Mike, it wasn't our feature game yesterday, but certainly we did keep an eye on Team Cooey. They jumped out to a 7-2 lead. We thought maybe there'd be handshakes after 4, and then all of a sudden there was a 3 and a steal of 1, and that game went right to 8. So certainly Cooey didn't walk into today's game, and that young team and the Hodgson's team really did fight it out.
Yeah, that's a good up-and-coming young team, and they were probably pretty excited. Maybe a little nervous to start, let Cooey get ahead of them. But nice to see a young team battle back.
And beside this sheet, of course, and we'll keep an eye as we can, we've got the other semifinal. These are being the two semifinals in the A event. We've got Team Botcher, certainly the other favorite along with Team Cooey, playing against Team Hardy, which again is a great, tremendous team. They had a great year last year. I think they were 15th ranked in the CTR rankings, or 14th, one of the others. Sturmey being 1 point right behind them. So certainly they had a great season last year and are showing early on this year. They made it to the playoff championship round in Airdrie last week as well, losing to Gawler. And here they are right in the thick of things again.
Yeah, again, another young team, part of the Excel program in Curling Alberta, and really had a great year last year. I think they won 3 events here in Alberta and a couple big ones. So jumped up the Canadian rankings to 15th in Canada, so that's great. But again, they got to play a tough opponent. Team Botcher, well, they've lost the last 3 Brier finals, so Hardy will be in tough, but we expect a good game over there as well.
Yeah, and just watching Botch last night, they by no means ran away with it with Van Amsterdam. Van Amsterdam in 2 different ends near the end, Mike, had a shot to really turn the tables. And again, to his credit, those were not easy shots. Didn't quite execute, and Botcher was able to pull that out, but certainly he didn't walk into this either. And Van Amsterdam, who will obviously be continuing to see during this event they've been very tough, and in this event specifically they've added Jason Ginter as a spare for one of their players, and certainly the 4 of them are doing really well.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. There's a lot of good young up-and-coming teams here in Alberta, and at these top teams, Botcher and Cooey, I think they're a little surprised by the level of competition here in the province. They haven't played much in Alberta with all the slams, but fortunately this year there's no slams, so we get to watch them here on our live stream, and a little club like Banff gets to host 2 top teams in the world.
Yeah, and Mike, let's get this out of the way right now. Let's start it off here. My question to you, and again, knowing that you have both worked on and curled on arena ice, as well as, of course, curling sheet ice, for our viewers and maybe for me, Mike, what's some of the differences that might be facing these teams that, let's say, the last 5, 6, 7 years, 80-90% of their games have been on that arena ice versus maybe in the curling?
Yeah, you know what, the arena ice, everybody thinks is a little bit different, just because the atmosphere for one is different. You're in a bigger environment, lots of fans in the building. You get lots of curl, usually at the slam ice they call it, or the Briars. So you're getting at least 5 feet of swing normally, and it's consistent throughout the whole game. The players really don't have to think about reading ice much at the big events, whereas you come into these club events and you got to learn how to read ice because it's not always perfect. But you know what, here in Banff, Brian has done an excellent job, and this is as close to slam ice as you might see right now. We saw the first draw last night was great. It was about 5 feet of swing, and the speed was 15 seconds. And I heard it got a little warm last night, but I'm sure the ice will be perfect again this morning with the morning draw.
Yeah, and that's Brian, of course, being Brian Armstrong, the head ice maker for a number of years here, and we've been fortunate over the years with having the TSN Skins game, the Qualico mixed, event, things like this, where we've had some ice makers come in, and Brian's been just a great student with that and has really picked up on things, and he's really continued to improve the ice out here. Really happy. And of course, he's supported by Jim Ulver, the other ice maker out there, and Marty Villamere. So the 3 of them, you know what, they come in before anyone's here, and they're here after everyone's gone. And these are volunteers, Mike. These are volunteers, and it's just great to see.
Yeah, it's pretty special. You guys are lucky here at Banff. Brian's been here for many years. I used to play the men's bonspiel here at the old club, and Brian was the ice maker there. So you've got a spectacular facility, and you guys do a great job out here at Banff hosting a lot of big events. Like you said, everybody wants to come here to play, so no surprise we got a full field here, and we're in for a good show.
Yeah, already look at this. Look at those rocks. If you were to go and place them like you do in mixed doubles, that might be where you'd place them.
Yeah, definitely center line guard by Team Cooey to start, because they're going to put the pressure on right away, and then Team Kennedy with their lead, Brad Coco, he's registered as, but he makes a perfect draw, top 8, and comes around.
I'm going for it, Brad Coco or Arenas.
Oh, whoa, that's a tough one. I wasn't willing to try it this early in the morning. Brad's a great guy. He's been curling for many years. Roommate of Chelsea Carey as well.
Gotta go hard, John. Come on, John.
That was line.
Off.
Sorry, buddy.
Great shot there. Just for our viewers at home, we do have John Morris and Brad Hebert mic'd up. Those are the voices you'll predominantly hear. And of course, on the other sheet, we've got other team Robinson and Kennedy mic'd up. So we will let them talk sometimes. Obviously, Mike, you like to talk a lot too, but we'll let them talk a bit and tell us what's going on too.
Yeah, it's great for the fans at home when they're mic'd up. They get to hear what the players' conversations are about, and especially when it comes to strategy and the communication. It's very important for the club curler to understand and listen to the strategy and the weight call. You know, the skip doesn't get that weight call normally in recreational curling, and we preach it all the time. They need to talk when you're out there, so you're going to hear lots of it today.
So you're saying what we say isn't good?
Not good enough, no, usually.
Because I'm a club curler.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mike.
I didn't say that, you did, but I just agreed with you.
Really hard. Okay.
Maybe a little up there, but hit and rolled out, but did the job.
I like it, actually.
Come on.
I like it. Back 4. And this isn't the easiest hack waiter.
This morning we've only got 2 games going on, both sheet 2 and 3 in play here as the A semifinals, and then of course starting at 2:30 we'll get back into the Bs, and we'll start the B event.
Yeah, probably not many surprises, like I said. We're in the A semis, we got Cooey and Botcher in them for sure. So, but I know both these teams, Kennedy and Hardy, are looking for some upsets this morning.
Come on, Beach, you gotta push.
They got to go hard here, throwing a hack weight hit, trying to stick around. Got to get by the center guard.
Good shot, Johnny. Good shot, buddy.
So John Moe new to the team this year. John Morris new to the team this year. So quite an addition to add to Team Cooey for sure. I mean, with his experience and high-level play over the years, I mean, you're talking Olympic champion and Brier many a times, Canadian junior champion. So, I mean, to add a guy like him to come in and play second for a team that was already one of the best in the world is pretty unique.
Yeah, when you do a pickup, it's kind of like in the mixed doubles last year here. John Morris playing, of course, with Caitlin Laws. They won, went to the finals, and the next year Caitlin wasn't available. And who did he pick up? At Rachel Holman, and then they went on to win. They went on to win the event. So you know.
Well, the common denominator is John Morris, so I think it's all him in those teams.
You know, I haven't had a chance.
I hope those girls aren't listening to our live stream.
I haven't had a chance to talk to John about it, but you know, playing second has got to be new for him. He's usually been a back-end player, but I mean, with his hitting ability, that's got to be a strong asset to the team, and of course, his drawing ability too. But you know, it's still an adjustment, and he's got to sweep a lot more. He probably wanted the no cohort so that there's only one sweeper.
That's probably what. Yeah, he probably wanted to go social distancing out there so Benny can do all the work. But, you know, a guy like John on the team, I mean, from what I've heard over the years, he's such a great teammate. Back in the Brier in Calgary when Mr. Simmons won the event, you know, John made the switch halfway through the event to leave skip and play third position. So they went on to win that Brier. So that's quite a showing at an event to be able to make the adjustment halfway through and know it's better for your team. So I'm sure he'll fit right in at second, and he'll add a lot to the team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. I did think I saw yesterday, but again, you know, we're focusing on our sheet here. But that John was spending some time in the house with Kevin and BJ down sweeping. So we'll see if that was the thing, or maybe it was just one end or one shot. But we'll keep our eye out that as this end goes on.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if he just goes down and call the line and helps out with strategy for sure. So, I mean, it's hard to help out anybody with strategy with Kevin Cooey. I mean, he's probably one of the best curlers in the world right now. So, and you're not going to meet a smarter guy out there for sure.
Got it. Roll it off. Roll it off. Yep, right over. Right over. That's good. Yep. Shutter. Throw, bud. Good sweep.
Same turn.
All right, for those viewers watching us, this is Team Cooey against Team Kennedy. Kennedy out of the Ellerslie Club in Edmonton. They are playing in the A semifinals. The winner will go on tonight in our late night game tonight at 7:30 to play in the A finals for a chance to get into the championship round. Mike, $23,000 up for stake here. The winner gets $9 grand, so it's a very worthwhile thing to get in there quick and guarantee yourself at least the $3,500 or $4,000, sorry, for the third or fourth place.
Yeah, no, it's great payout. The players love it. You know, they don't really play for the money. A lot of the times they're out here to just get some games in and try and play some competitions. And, you know, with everything going on this year, that they just appreciate being out here. But the money's just a little extra bonus at the end for the winners.
Hey, Roy.
Yep.
So Team Kennedy here, the Rolly Robinson here throwing, and the third for Team Kennedy. Kennedy won their first game against Team Libis last night, and little connection there. The coach of Team Libis, Mickey Pendergast, used to skip Kevin Cooey when he first started in Alberta when he came out of juniors. Kevin Cooey played third for Mickey, who's the coach of Team Libis. So small curling world.
It's a small, small world.
Shot, man. You're good.
Yeah,
Gotta go an intern beach.
And I think you told me Mickey will be coming up here at least on the weekend, will he? So we'll have
Mickey
a
will be
chance
here
to
this
see him.
afternoon, yes. So
Wow.
There you go, hitter.
You think he would have been able to intimidate them from behind the glass yesterday?
I
a
don't
little
think
bit?
so.
No,
I don't think so. Well, they're playing the come around here, top four. You don't want to slip behind the tee line. You want to stay parallel pretty much with the rock that's in the house already, so you don't leave a double.
Wait if you can.
If you slide a little deep here, you give Team Kennedy a note.
Wait for
It's good. Okay, well,
Anywhere top four, buried is a good shot, or level with the one on the tee line.
Top.
So
Just
top button.
full
this
four,
is
full
hanging
four.
out there though.
Yep. Yep.
Ben's gonna try and finish it
Easy,
here.
easy. Yep.
Just love the way it just
Oh,
keeps
great
gliding in,
shot.
eh? Looks like it might come to a stop. Still got
Absolutely
two more
perfect.
feet.
If anything, it might show a sliver on the other side. That's how much great curl we have here. We're sitting right behind the sheet here, and you might be able to see an eighth of an inch on the other side. So, and that rock is only just short of the ring, so that's good. That's a lot of curl.
Without glasses to be that precise in your view, Mike, I'm pretty impressed.
I make it up sometimes too. Nobody's really looking that hard.
Really hard.
They got to go here to hold the shooter. Trying to play the run back. It's real close.
Shit.
Just over curled a little bit. Wanted to roll the other way towards the other yellow, but
Sounded
still
like
pretty
he
good shot.
sounded like he saw a ship out in the yard
Yeah.
there, Mike. Was that what you heard too?
Well, we do apologize for things you hear. We're not that good on the quick on the mute button sometimes, and we have no control over what they're saying. And we're not like the big guys. We don't have a 10-second delay, but
There might be a ship out there, Mike.
there might be a ship out there. Yeah, I don't know where the ship is in these beautiful mountains we're looking at, but hey, you
Could
never
be an
know.
arc. Maybe there's an arc. Like there was an arc once up in a mountain, Mike, wasn't there?
That's true.
Speaking of audio, we've got Fenya back again today. She's on the audio for us, keeping track of us, keeping our voices high and low and the players high and low. And yeah, so thanks again, Fenya, for all your work and help.
Why is she quick on the mute with us? I don't know. It seems like it's real quick when it comes to us talking. She hits the mute fast, but the players, she lets them talk.
Clean it, beach.
Well, we got a great production crew here at Banff Curling Club. We got amazing volunteers and first-class operation as usual.
Hard to hit.
Really hard.
This is going to over curl a little bit.
Nope,
Might
no,
not
no,
stick
whoa.
around. Going to give Kennedy a note.
This is good. Yeah, you got lots. I don't think we need to roll anywhere.
Let's see. Let's hear if they have anything
Like
to
that's
say
the
about it.
shot,
If there
right?
was something
Yeah.
with the ice, or
Yeah,
if there
nose
was
is
just
the only
got
way
it
it's one place it
started,
rolls
or
back.
maybe the weight being down a bit.
Want to go control at it? I don't
I think
think.
that side just a little curl.
I mean, yeah,
We
it's-
watched this sheet yesterday, and that side's got a lot of curls, so
You might just.
maybe they just got fooled by that a little bit.
You're gonna hold down to here, so you can't draw a second one.
Yeah, and also on our team,
this
Thomas
is
and
still the
Jamie
shot.
Oliver. They're the ones
think
who
we're
are
gonna make
doing
a
the
hold back
technical
with this one.
directing and getting us these great camera angles. If you remember yesterday when the
I
game
think
ended
this
here,
will
they would
curl
still play on the sheet one way
Oh,
over. They were able to zoom
fantastic.
right in and show us the final shots there.
I felt like I was sitting on the sheet watching over there on the screen, so
Like, this is
Did you
going
say ship?
bonkers, so
I did. Sheet.
Okay, I thought so.
Sheet.
probably pretty safe with this side.
Sheep?
Sitting on the sheet.
We got a ship and a sheep out in the parking lot, Mike.
Just control, guys. Nose is good. I think so. We threw We threw a couple
So
I don't think we threw a
Kennedy's
practice draw going this way.
trying to go, take advantage of the mistake there and play a nose hit and sit 2. Kennedy be in good shape to try and score his deuce in the first end and get a jump start on Team Cooey. This is Glenn Kennedy, the brother of Mark Kennedy, a curler that plays for Brad Jacobs right now. He used to play third for Kevin Cooey.
Older brother too, right?
Right
I
on.
think Glenn is the older brother of Mark, yeah. Although Mark looks a lot older than Glenn. Hope he's listening.
Hard butt.
I'm sure he's up watching his
There you go,
brother curl
contact.
this early.
Hard butt.
Just a little bit of mistake here again.
So
the
awkward
roll
like
out
this.
kind of gave the advantage back, and probably looking like we're going to see a blank end here once it's all said and done.
Yeah, we did hear them though that in practice they didn't throw one down that ice, right? So we assume, of course, everyone will make their shots, and what we do see as the ends go on, they really pick up on those lines quick. They won't forget that.
They won't
But
make that
sometimes
mistake again.
in these early ends, if in practice they didn't get to see it go down, there is a bit of a guess there, right? And you're kind of using the judgment from the other shots. So certainly that probably factored in, and he wanted to make sure he got it, didn't rack on the guard, and give the advantage back.
Yeah, maybe got a little fooled there for sure.
Whoa! Yep, whoa! No roll.
Big roll.
Yep.
There's a great adjustment by Cooey to make sure he made that one. Now he's trying to bury it on the other side.
Yeah, I always try and teach young junior teams first end to maybe keep the weight up a little bit just so you can take a little bit of the curl out of it, maybe some of the guessing game out of it early. But you know what? These teams get to practice up and down the sheet, so
So I had you for line right
they're
here.
pretty fortunate. They should have a chance to figure most of it out early.
Yeah. So we're here to get to about there. So I'll go here.
So it looks like, what a great roll. I mean, that's dead buried from our angle here, but Kennedy's got lots of room between the guard there and the back of the house. So I think he's going to throw the exact same shot he just did. He has that education from his first one, and probably try and catch a quarter of the rock, Mike, and roll out. And if he does stick, I guess it's one.
Yeah, no, he's got the exact same line. I think he's put the broom in the exact same spot. So he's playing a little board weight peel here. Normally you see a peel run down, someone throw 6.5 seconds and rip it out, but when it's fully buried, they're throwing board weight to just try and make it go away. But that just shows how good the ice is.
Board weight peel. You heard it here first.
I'm sure someone else has said it over the years, but
Accidentally, maybe.
maybe.
Yep. Close. Yep. Really hard.
They got to go hard here to get by this guard.
Hard. Really hard.
Got to go real hard to get by the guard. Just rubbed the guard. And gave up an unfortunate steal for Team Cooey there.
That was a weird finish to that end.
Yeah, looking like they're going to get
That-
two,
the
and
second one he threw really
2
good.
shots later they give up a steal.
Yeah, that
Well, he said good
that
use.
definitely turned around 2 or 3 times there in the last 4 shots.
Being the eternal optimist, of course, Mike, you look at that and say, well, it's odd ends and it's a single, so now you control the even ends, and as long as you score your deuces out, you win the game, right? It's that easy.
Yeah, you want to be looking at it. I would try to tell my team, okay, let's look at it like we lost the draw of the button and we forced them to take one. So we got the hammer and the even ends, score a deuce, and get control of the game again.
If you're going to miss early, right?
Yep.
Until he finds it.
Just a little discussion there about the skip, and
I'll reinforce it a bit.
Yeah, as Benny gets ready to throw here, just to our viewers, what we've done here in the sheets is the odd ends, they start here at the home end, and in the even ends, they start at the away end, just to
All there.
create even greater separation
there.
between. And we know other events have done it too, and it seems to be working well, just to spread everybody out a little bit more.
yeah, you know, with COVID going around right now, we got to do everything we can to keep everybody safe. And here at the Banff Curling Club, you guys done an excellent job. You designated areas for each team that they have to stay in when they're having their team meetings. And again, if everybody doesn't know, we're not a cohort event, but we are cohorting teams. So the teams are required to physically distance amongst each other or between the teams, but the team itself can actually stay within 6 feet and just become a cohort group. So that's why you see the 2 sweepers compared to a lot of recreational facilities. You'll see the 1 sweeper because it's physical distancing for everybody usually at the rec facilities.
That's right.
I know in Okotoks we do physical distancing for all our leagues, and sometimes it's tough for the members to understand, but we're doing everything we can to try and make sure curling stays active and people get to go out and play. And I know here at Banff, you guys are physically distancing as well during your league play.
100%. Any chance I can to sit out one sweeping there, Mike, take advantage of it. But to your point, I mean, you know what? Let's be safe and enjoy. Make sure our sport goes forward rather than pushing for something that we don't need. But these teams, of course, you know, cohorting is easy because they are, in all senses, professionals in a way that they do travel around together and play together. So they're not playing in multiple leagues at clubs, and you know, this is their one big cohort that they use. And that's why we chose here not to go cohorting at our club, because we know that with parents having kids in schools and with doing other stuff that they, you know, we didn't need to add one more cohort to that mix.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's well for us. It's we have so many people play multiple leagues, and financially as a club, it's better to be physically distant so they don't have to worry about, you know, not being able to play multiple leagues. So it's worked out well so far, and I know curling all around Alberta and probably the country is just excited to be going.
Oh, a little bit of a miss there by Benny. Just, you know, outside of the edge of the rings, and just maybe is it just curling a little more than they think out there?
Yeah, I just think maybe they're just not taking quite enough ice there. And Ben looked like he threw it pretty good and was surprised by the amount of curl, but we've seen it a few times now, so they either got to pick the weight up or take a little more ice. Make the adjustment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like right back here.
Ships, sheeps, and now we got a missile.
Yep.
Heads up, heads up, heads up.
You know, Team Kennedy's got to try and take advantage of these mistakes they're getting from Cooey's team early, because Cooey's team won't get, they'll probably get better as the game goes on. So.
Sorry, Beach. Fucking amateur.
You like this out?
Again, we apologize for the language. I hope nobody's offended
I don't
by it.
mind normal, because then I can't really, it's tougher to roll over the top, eh?
Hard to control the mute. We don't have that 10-second delay.
It's a bit more, it's definitely more gradual here, guys.
Something about a truck coming in an hour, I think.
Yeah, I
if
think
I heard
so.
that correct. You know, if Kevin Cooey was throwing this, I bet you they'd be going for the thin double. But they're going to try and hit and roll, I think, in behind the center here.
I don't.
Hard, Ben.
They're going hard for a roll here. Yeah, just got a nose hit. So.
Yeah, and I think
Curling
that
both
shot,
ways, though.
that shot, so it forces Kennedy out there to play it, right? I mean, he could ignore it and come around, but, you know, it's a good spread. He might as well hit. But, of course, it's a tricky spot. We've just seen a couple of
Nose is good.
not precise hits on.
Do you want to throw here? Or here? Okay.
So they're just tapping on their chest when they're asking their players what that means. Normal weight is their sign down there. We hear all different sorts of weight calls, but
yeah, yesterday we had over easy and you know, scrambled. And thank you. We had a viewer who wrote us in and told us about the scrambled hit. So you know, if you've got educational stuff from Mike and I, we love hearing it, and we can share it out. So if you do want to send us a comment in the chat, please do. We're monitoring the chat line, and we'd love to share your thoughts. And speaking of that, Brad, he did want me to share a little note out there. He wanted me to give a shout out to Grandma Darlene, who he hopes is watching.
Morning, Grandma Darlene.
Yeah, but he did tell me to apologize that he's not Brad Gushu, but that he feels the second best Brad out in the game. So he loves you, Grandma Darlene, but he does apologize. His last name isn't Gushu.
Yeah, I'm sure Grandma Darlene thinks Brad's the number one Brad out there, not even Brad Gushu, but I'm sure she's tuning in. It's pretty exciting. She still gets to watch her grandson curl, so that's exciting for everybody for sure. And didn't mention where Grandma Darlene's from, did he?
He did, Calgary.
Calgary.
Yeah, we had another grandma yesterday from Victoria listening in, and great to have all these people listening in. If you have any questions for Mike or I guess myself, please feel free to send it in the chat, and we'll try to answer it. We had some good ones yesterday about how teams got ranked and other things. So we're here to help you and answer the questions and do our best for that.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. If we don't know, we'll just make it up. No one will know the difference.
Yep. Hard rolling. Hard butt. Hard, right
So
up,
they're
right
going
up.
hard to make a nose hit here. Got to stick around.
Good sweep.
So there's another rule that is slightly different in the curling world right now. Is normally Cooey would be able to run up and sweep that rock out, but with the new rules of curling for this year due to COVID, that you're never allowed to sweep your opponent's rocks. So Cooey had to just sit back and watch that rock trickle and stick around at the back 12.
That's got to be one of the most frustrating things, is to be just wishing a rock out when you used to be able to sweep it. But again, just another thing to try and keep everyone safe. When it's your house until the rocks come to the end and the opponents must stay back and can't get in. And again, just one more reason to keep someone safe. If we do 5 or 6 points like that where we help it out, it's 5 or 6 little points that can help keep everyone safe out there. And it's really great that the curlers have bought into that and not complaining about it and embracing it and setting as role models what everyone else can do.
Yeah, I know when Airdrie was talking about going to cohort teams or physically distancing the events, they reached out to a guy like Kevin Cooley and got his opinion, and his response was, "We just want to play. We'll play whatever they tell us to play. We just want to curl." So that's pretty exciting, and that's great for curling when the best players in the world just want to get out there and play, and they'll play whatever rules it takes to make that happen.
Keep moving, bud. You're good.
So we're seeing a consecutive nose hits here at the back 12. We'll see who blinks first here.
What a great camera angle that is. Right close in on the sweeper, pulling out, and we've got the house to see where he's shooting. Just great job done there by the two brothers, the Olver brothers, here volunteering this weekend and doing a great job and having fun with it. And it's great to hear their banter. You don't get to hear it, but we do.
Yeah,
and it's great to see the two brothers there.
Every time I've been here, I think they've been here working the screen, so it's amazing. And they were here before I got here, and I'm usually pretty early for events, but I get here and everybody's set up, ready to go.
I
guess
think
I gotta get out of bed earlier.
I think everyone was here before you today, Mike. But thank you for bringing the coffee, and I do appreciate that. I guess I shouldn't say.
I gotta bring something when I'm running late, I guess. I had lots of comments last night through text messaging how good the live streaming was, and no real comments on how good the commentators were, just how excited they were to watch. So, unfortunately, they have to put up with us again today.
Clean, just clean. It's got to move. Whoa.
This has got to get to the nose here.
A lot of rotation on that rock.
If it rolls out here, you're going to see Cooley come around the center guard. And again, they watch it just trickle out of the ring. So now you're going to see Cooley run up, make the draw to the top 4.
I think it's still good here. On my guard, it was good speed here, eh?
And yeah, just what you were saying, that John Morris is holding the broom for Team Cooley when Kevin's throwing now. His experience in the house is probably they recognize it.
Is it that, or is it just the second game and he's already tired?
Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe BJ's a better sweeper too. Could be part of it, but I don't know. It's up to them to decide. Either way, I'm sure it'll be a successful setup here for sure. Well, we're looking at full 15 seconds. Here's what we want, top 4. And you got a couple of the best sweepers out there in the world, especially Ben Hubert's been around a long time.
Line's good.
And just watch him go
Line's
here.
good.
Gotta go for weight.
Okay, hard line then too. Line's great. Easy, Benny. Okay, clean. Line's perfect.
Why are they not saying
Full
easy,
4.
BJ?
Full 4, line's perfect.
Because
Easy.
Benny is just going to town on that. That's sweeping.
Yep. Perfect.
Well, I think we
Great shot by Kevin,
throw this
top
intern
button.
path. Try to bump it 2 feet, eh? Sure. I think it should walk in there pretty well, right?
The other option is throw hack this way and just roll to the outside. But it's probably very.
You know, it's funny when you look at these games. I mean, you know, it's just that they don't miss. They just have a half shot, and that little half shot rollout, that's what changes the things around, right? We've seen that in both ends now, where really Kennedy's had the upper hand, and then it's just slipped away, right? And I guess as they figure the ice a little more, you know, we'll see that change.
You know what's interesting here is what I'm finding, how great the ice is. They're actually talking about playing a little bump here, and that rock is completely buried behind the center guard, and they're still thinking they can bump it. So that's some great ice when that can happen.
You know, it's nice. It shows the talent of the players when you give them that ice, right? That they can go after this. If you get the weight up, it's never coming over. But if you play the right weight, you can get rewarded. And that's what you want to see with these top players. They have the ability, so let's give them the opportunity to use it and differentiate. And so to your point, Mike, here's just a great example of how if you give them the playing surface, they can perform.
Yeah, the players, all they want is a lot of curl and consistent speed. It doesn't have to be 15 seconds. It can be 14 seconds, but they love a lot of curl because they think they can make any shot if they've got a lot of curl.
Just a half inch more, Rolly.
Great look there at Glenn. How many rotations was that, Mike?
It was way too many to count.
I think you shared with me, Mike, once that you know, spinning that rock is a chance to maybe flick out a little bit of dirt if it's underneath there.
Yeah, the surface. You listened to me one time, didn't you? I'm surprised.
It's gotta move.
I think I've told lots of people that no one ever remembered. But
Mike, I live off of every word you say. I do, every word.
Right up to it there. Right there,
well,
right
again, that's the first I've ever heard that too. Look at that, spectacular shot.
Good sweep, boys.
Great shot.
Just maybe a little heavier than we wanted, but got the rock off the button.
Switch
And
on this one.
And then, you know, again, it's rolled out in the open, so he should be able to
run
comfortably
between
get to
two
nose
for
or even inside. But that brings the guard into play, but you can't be out a little bit because it could jam on that back one, right?
I don't think you'll see these teams get that wide here. This will be close for sure, and Kevin will be happy with a nose hit and force Glenn to take his one. And if he goes real hard for the roll, then if the roll's close, he'll go for it. If not, I'm sure he'll be happy.
Control.
Clean. Wall, clean. Yep. Really hard.
You got to go hard here.
Whoa, beach.
Yeah, they're just didn't want to get close to the guard. Again, they're happy with the force. And
I think mine will. Just that same kind of control you were throwing, man.
You want to throw that? Okay.
Right there.
so same kind of weight they just threw. Go for the nose hit to one. Try and tie up the game.
Just nice control, guys.
Well, last shot here of end two, a chance for Glenn Kennedy with just a nose hit to tie this game up at 1, and it'll be like starting all over again. Mike could have saved, what, 30 minutes of sleep?
Exactly. We could have started the third end and been in the same situation. Let's just listen to the communication here by the sweepers to the third in the
Clean
house.
early. Yep. Right up. Right to it, Brad. Clean. Heavy clean. Okay,
Great
going this.
throw.
Great throw,
Great
bud.
throw by Kennedy. Gets his one, and after 2 ends, we've got Kennedy 1 and Cooey 1. A little update around the sheets. I guess sheets. Only got one. Only got one on the go.
That's
so
right.
update on sheet 2. Whenever we can see the scoreboard, we'll let you know.
Well, we've got Hardy's up 1-0 after 1. We don't know whether he had the hammer or not. Maybe we'll assume he did. But he's just thrown a bullet in there to the button. So Botcher with a couple rocks in the house, but Hardy now got one buried pretty close to the button. Going to force Botcher to draw down against it to get his one. And we should just say thank you very much to the sponsors while we have a moment here. ATB, of course, being our head sponsor. So appreciative of their support of this event, but of curling in general. They support some of the teams and just a great bank.
Yeah, thanks ATB for everything you do for curling. It's amazing.
And then the Banff Curling Club, of course, leagues get started here next week, but the members allowing this event to happen ahead of time. And, you know, Brian putting some great ice in. I guess the league curlers are going to really appreciate that at the end as well. And the town of Banff, this facility is owned by the town of Banff, and the club is operating within it. And they've been very supportive of us doing this event and having all these curlers here. So thank you. And of course, Curling Alberta, you know, without them putting a lot of work over the summer to make sure curling was able to happen, that there was great policies in place. Everything we're doing here with the different ends starting and designated areas, a lot of that came from great brainstorming sessions amongst the managers and ice makers around the province, as facilitated by Curling Alberta, and here we are able to curl and demonstrate the safety of the sport. So thank you very much, Curling Alberta, for everything you do.
I can't say enough for sure. We'll talk about that as the game goes on, I'm sure, but we can't say enough to Jill and the rest of her crew there, Curling Alberta.
Yeah, and actually we do have we have 2 of the Curling Alberta staff here with us. One curling and one helping to coach, Shannon Clybrink, the latest addition.
That's right.
Been
Quite
hired
an
on.
addition,
And
Olympic bronze medalist.
Yeah,
and
it's good. It's all
Stay
there.
down, Beach.
All there.
her
All
wisdom
there.
will
Stay down,
definitely
Beach.
be a welcome
All
addition to
there.
Curling Alberta for sure.
Halfway.
They're really stacking everything up with an A team up there for sure. They're getting all the best in the province to help
Boy,
out.
Benny.
yeah, and Jason Ginter, the education coordinator, being the other one. So just some great talent, not just in curling,
wait.
but also now moving over to the administration side and really helping out Curling Alberta, but all
Nice to
curlers
hear.
and all clubs in the province. So thank you, Jill, for your great work, and of course your great staff. And not to take anything away from the existing staff that have been there, but just adding to that team.
We're measuring that.
So we had a slight miscue. We had a slight miscue there.
Just stop the slide.
That is
see the
maybe
replay.
the first time I've ever seen that in a competitive game. So I guess we should go over the rule a little bit.
Walk us through that one there, Mike. Walk us through that.
As long as you do not go over the tee line, or the back line, I believe it is, that the rock is actually not in play yet. So you can stop your line and start again, but you don't see that very often because that is extremely hard to do, to stop that momentum with a 40-pound piece of granite going ahead. See it sometimes in golf where people will stop on their backswing, but in curling, that's the first time I've ever seen it in competitive play myself.
It's usually just Charles Barkley that can stop in the downswing
Yeah,
in golf.
that's really hard to do what he does.
Well, Grandma Darlene, you might have just seen your grandson do something for the first time live on live stream.
That's correct, yeah. Maybe he's nervous because Grandma Darlene's watching.
Could be.
I mean, he is only the second best Brad.
Weight's good. Really good. Weight's perfect.
His words, not mine.
Weight's perfect, Beach. Gotta go hard line. Hard line, Beach. Hard, Beach.
This is really hooking over. Looks like it might be light.
Go, 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 go. No, you're not by. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Oh, they're just getting caught on the two. Like, there's so much curl out there. I'm surprised, you know, a team of that caliber just...
Well, that's where Glenn on that what'd you call it? Backline
Board,
peel,
weight,
Wade peel. That was the same line. Well, different line, but same direction at his overcurl
want
too.
here?
So
No, original call.
Yeah.
Up for.
Kennedy's going to try and put one wrapping around here.
14 and a half, because we're gonna swing a little harder off the wing, so 14 and a
I
half.
know Cooey will probably play some kind of triple run here after this one, so clear up the center.
yeah, and Mike, again, for the viewers at home, and as I continue to say during our streams with your great competitive knowledge, you wouldn't go around the yellows because he can do the run back, or now you're taking the play out to the wings, right? Kennedy's trying to keep this with his side and keep it near the center. Is that right?
You know, when you don't have the hammer, you're trying to keep the play in the middle, and you're kind of play it into their hand if you go around the corner. That's what they want you to do. So I always say figure out what the team wants you to do and do the opposite. So that's not a bad shot. They got their center guard. You'll probably see Cooey double off those top two and try and roll over
Yeah,
under
roll
the
behind
corner.
ours. Just get the top two. It'd be real nice. Set up a wall over there.
I just want viewers at home to know that Ben cannot hear Mike, but Mike can hear Ben.
Okay.
I mean, sticking your shooter doesn't really matter, boys.
And I did hear him after I said it, though, just to let you know.
You have a delay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, John trying to double peel, and they don't care if it rolls out, but if it does roll over behind, it's not a bad problem at all.
It's real close. Probably going to roll out, but real close.
Oh. Good.
Oh, look at it. See, so it's over there on the edge. They like to keep those rocks over there in the wing because you never know. Cooey might play off that later in the end.
We've seen it. I mean, one of the greatest shots in curling, Jennifer Jones. Finals of the Scotties when
Top
she
tee.
came off that outside.
Her and Sandra Schmerler did the same thing back in
So I do that
98
here.
on her
This
way to
isn't
the
bad either.
Olympics Olympic trials, I think it was.
No, right?
That'd be fine. Be fine with that right now.
That's the shot. Okay, right here.
Couple options here. You could put up a center guard or
2.5.
consider maybe peeling the corners if you're worried at all. But guards are tough when you get this much curl. Just got to throw it out there to your sweepers and let them guide it to the right spot.
And you'd want to err on the center line side, right, Mike? Because that way you don't let them come around from the center line, Cooey. But it also, if they do pick out your one in the house, you've got a center line guard to go around.
Line's okay. Line's good. Keep it moving. Just a two. Okay.
So a little comment
Harder.
out there. One of my friends,
Right in.
Noel Workman's listening at
Harder.
home, and I wanted to say hello to Noel.
Front
And
center a bit. Harder.
good to see him back out. His son is out here playing in this event this weekend, and he listens to the
you probably
commentary
get
for
to
you,
the
Steve. He
nose.
doesn't really want to listen to me, but he told me it sounds excellent by Steve. Mine, he just has to get rid of my accent, he said.
Well, of course, Workman there, he's playing third for Manson. They played in the first game, a tight one against Hodgson. They lost, but they're back on again at 2:30 today, and good luck to them. And obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on that team and all teams as the weekend progresses.
Wall, clean, clean. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, we at least have
Benny.
one viewer out there,
Benny.
Steve.
Hard, Beach.
Got to go hard for line here to get by the center.
Benny.
You can hear them call the switch there. So what they're trying to do is get BJ to hold it straight.
Get it out.
And then when they know they're by the center guard, they plan curl, get it to curl to get complete undercover. But again, there was a prime example of not being able to sweep your opponent's rock out of the rings. Like, that is a tough, that's hard for these players to watch.
But, you know, talking to some of the players,
gotta be
Mike,
like
I mean, the
heavy
feeling almost is that it's more of a liability for the sweeper, the skips to be sweeping because they might get hurt
That's true.
than what they actually do. But not fair. We've seen a lot of great skips that can sweep, and that little extra brushing there can move a rock up to a foot, I'd say, or half a foot.
Yeah, it could be, depends on who's sweeping really. I mean, if it was me, it might stop dead. I had Kevin Cooey, same thing. I don't know if he's getting it out, but, you know, if Benny had jumped in there and swept it out, it's probably gone. So.
Hard, Aaron. Hard. Right to it, Aaron.
Right up, right up, right up. No roll. Hard, 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 hard.
Just trying to get some finish here.
Good sweep. Good shot, Rolly.
If this sticks around the rings, you might see Kevin come around the center here.
Intern draw, I figure, eh?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, you know, 4 rocks left, right? It's a chance to go on the offense, and really those biters, why chase them? It's lower percentage to get yourself in a good spot.
Isn't that easy, Kev?
But the only good thing is if he hits it, you can roll half a sheet and you've got some protection, right?
Yeah,
But
this
I
is.
don't like this hit.
Yeah, but the hitting is low percentage to stick, right? Although they've
Well,
done
you're
it twice
probably
this
going to
game.
get forced. It's a hard roll, and if you do roll with the hit on the wings, you're probably rolling behind this tee line, and then Kennedy's going to wrap one around and really force you. So you're trying to beat him in now. I like this call. It doesn't look like a lot of ice, and we've seen it curl real hard in this spot.
It actually looks like they're trying to come around the blue and hook it all the way over to behind that yellow.
Wow. That would be, they might. It'd be a tough hole if you get in there for sure to hit. You heard the comment, but
Weight's good.
that's an amazing curl if it gets there.
Wait only, line only, sorry. Easy, Benny, easy.
Well, I got Ben on the left in the driver's seat. He'll be the one carving it
They're going to
over.
make this go hard once it's past the blue. Watch
There he
that.
goes.
Easy.
There we go.
Yep.
Got to stay
Yep.
above the tee line, though.
Oh,
There they go. See, they're trying to wrap it
Oh,
over behind
oh.
the yellow one.
Amazing.
Look
Great
at
spot.
that.
That's a lot.
You didn't believe me, did you?
No, I believed you.
I think we'll have to follow it, eh?
And you know, with that blue being higher than the yellow, it's really tough to come through that hole, right? You could come from the out-turn side, but then it's curling away from that little sliver you can see, so it sounds like he's going to want to.
Well, and it shows a lot of respect for the other team because if you're dead
No,
buried
like,
behind the blue, they might play some kind of run
crashing
back,
yellow's
or
okay.
that blue is so high
Yellow,
that
if anything, right?
you know they could
I don't
probably
mind
get to it
chasing
with
that
weight
hole.
to bump it out. So that's a great call by Team Cooey and great execution by BJ.
Good discussion there, too, if we listen for a moment.
You might hang around in the 4 foot at least.
Oh, I
Normal
think if
weight.
we make the hole, we're close to the nose.
Normal weight.
Okay.
Let's be ready, Brett. What are you thinking, like here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out how difficult this hole really was.
Yeah, and they said that, you know what, they don't mind crashing the guards out of there, right? Because it'll open it up for them, and that was better than coming around and, you know, if they miss that shot, they don't really help themselves in any way. But this is hitting on the wrong side. I think they'd prefer to have hit out the yellow. And you can't sweep that out either. They went far enough to be fourth shot.
Yeah, I don't think you'll anybody. They won't make a play on it. They'll play an in-turn draw and probably do a little stagger here, top
I mean, you
eight.
hit roll this one too.
3/4.
You can for sure bring this in if we play the hit and roll.
This is where maybe a less
I don't
experienced
either. I
team
don't
might try to chase those outside ones to bring the fourth into play. But really, that's not coming into play with 3 left. You might as well go for your deuce, and 3 might happen. But
Yeah, they're trying to play the hit and roll, but if you roll too far, you might set up a triple. But I like the draw here, top 8 myself.
yeah,
Yeah, it's either or. I mean, my first thought.
They're trying to get the back 12 one into play, though.
You got to roll. You got to roll, or he has a nose hit to light too.
And the problem is, like,
Well,
it-
even if he knows this, we're gonna be able to hit the wall. We're gonna have a double for 3.
Yeah.
I think the nose is better than the roll because if we roll to that around that 8 foot, 4 foot, it's
Kev,
probably-
if you roll in, is it an easy double for him off either one of those?
by the nose. Or nose it, and then
Okay.
make them.
Sure.
Interesting conversation here.
And I like this, as we said yesterday during the live stream, you know, hey, there goes BJ down. No sense yelling back and forth. Let's really look at it together and have a plan and both be on the same page.
I think you might see them wrap one around here, top 8, once they have a conversation and just end up half tuck both.
I think my gut was the draw too.
Are we drawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
Very like
I'm fine with this.
you know, they're thinking 3 shots ahead here. They have to. What if? Because you're trying to play those percentages.
Yeah, you're still bringing 3 in play if you tuck a piece of this. So.
And if you play the hit and it doesn't execute right, then Kennedy hits to lie 2 and the force is on.
Same speed.
I like this call. I'm not someone to judge Kevin Cooey and his decision making, but this is the right call.
Weight's good.
A little bit for weight. No. Line only.
Right on it.
It's got to finish here.
They think it's 2 wits here, so maybe a little heavy.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
John. Cool.
This will finish. They just saw it a minute ago.
Yeah, there's a driver, Benny, giving it a go, and John jumping in
Benny's
because
gonna-
weight.
Easy. Yep, hard.
Gotta get second shot here.
Great spot.
Perfect
Great
throw.
spot,
Nice
Beach.
spot
Attaboy.
there.
Wow, yeah, it provides guard on the one in the house, but it's hard to get to. Got closer to the top guard too, so fantastic shot. And if you ever tried as Kennedy to weld one on that back one near the button to cut down the scoring zone, that's a tough one. A little bounce off, and now you're bringing more into play.
Unfortunately, that might be, but the amount of curl they get, they know this will go in here, so they can probably play that board weight hit and roll over and maybe get a chance to leave them a double at the end.
Pretty nice, I think. Yeah.
But got to be careful here. It's not an easy shot from right behind the sheet. You can only see about a quarter of that rock.
The yellow, right?
Yeah, you just heard him there talk about the jam. The angle's such that if it jams in that back yellow, then they're lying.
That'll be first and third.
That's
Well, no,
right.
it'll be first and fourth because the shooter will stick around over here at the side of the 8. But they'll have a double to sit 3 if they jam.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of in front of our
All because you said play the draw and they heard you.
Yeah, probably that's what it was. Got to be careful on this one.
That looks tight for hack rolly. Is that where I gave you?
A little more.
You get in the hack. You
Yeah,
can't quite
even
see
another
as
half
much
inch,
as you
man.
think. So this is only going to be hack weight here.
Heavy hack boys. Clean. Easy, Brad.
Nice
easy.
clean release there. I love when you watch it go and it just as if they don't even do anything.
They got to go hard here for line. They got to go real hard for line. Oh, good shot.
Roll the shooter.
Missed the back one too. Now be careful though. That where that rock ended up, they got to be. Cooey's going to play the double and roll under.
Yeah, I think we can't
And
really.
I don't know. That's a risk of clipping that one on the 4 foot.
No,
Well, why
he's
don't we
going to
throw the
play the
weight
roll.
at,
He's going to play the double on the back one, the one on the top 8 and the one in the back, and then roll
Gotcha.
under the cover there, and then sit first, second, and fourth.
Yeah.
But the key's the roll here. You get half tucked similar to where you were, and the double's just a bonus.
We'll try this way.
But it's there. You can see Johnny lining it up. So,
Oh, I thought he was just tired.
well, he's not sweeping, so he shouldn't be tired yet.
Yeah, like even if you over curl a hair and do that.
You know, Mike, I'm not a judger here, but you know, when you see one guy without a jacket on, you know he's doing a lot of the sweeping.
Benny's been known to do a lot of the sweeping most of the time. So, not when he played with Mark though. Mark and Benny were both real good sweepers. It was pretty cool to watch.
They were normal.
Whoa! Whoa!
Uh-oh. They might have
Back
jumped
that
it.
up a little
Might
bit.
have jumped it here. Might roll out.
Yikes.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, advantage back. Chance to hit and lie 3 for
Yeah,
Kennedy.
That's a
Throw same
big
weight, man.
mistake.
Try to get that little flip under, right?
See, just
But I'd
trying
like
for
to
the
open up the
double. I
room.
need a little more weight, and it, you know, but
Yeah, I'm surprised that
Same weight?
yeah, that's a shot you don't see the miss. They knew the nose hit was the miss, not the roll out. So missed that on the wrong side, which you'd really never see from these curlers.
now you have a better angle than me, Mike. But that seemed to back up as Benny put the brush down to it. Is that what happened, or they just got a little quick on it, thinking it would jump?
Maybe just read the release wrong, a little bit wrong. I mean, again, this is kind of new. I mean, John and Kevin played together years ago, but this is kind of only their second event recently together as a new team, so maybe that had something to do with it. But
Wasn't it flipped back then? Didn't John skip and Kevin play third?
I believe so. Yeah, they played in a slam one time in I think it was Edmonton. They
Easy, Brad. Clean, clean. Yep, yep. Yep. Whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
well, that was a
clean,
good team back then.
Oh, this is going to come nicely. This might even get an inside roll buried.
throw.
Great throws, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Kevin will have to probably play nose hit for his one. Or
I would throw a little less, but
I think it's hard when you're
good board. Kind of
25
thing.
feet heavy.
Going for the board weight hit here, trying to get his one. Got to regroup after the last shot and make sure they make this one.
Board.
Easy.
Just control.
Just whoa. Clean.
I think that's here it comes. It's
Clean,
really nice throw and good call and
great throw. And that's a one for Team Cooey. So kind of a small victory for Team Kennedy. For sure, they get the force right back and they get the hammer going to the even ends.
And once again, we see an end where, you know, one shot, chance to turn the end around and just not quite executed. So Kennedy, to your point, able to get out of that and only one. So we look to sheet 2. We've got Hardy against Botcher in the other A semifinal. They're playing in 3, and after the first 2 ends, they are also tied at 1.
Yeah, it looks like they're tied at 1, and Hardy's got a chance here for a double for 3, it looks like, over there, Steve.
Yeah, I think we might try and swing the camera over and see if we can catch this final shot of Hardy. The last shot of the end, and to your point, double for 3.
So I think what we did is I think we were kind of caught between two things, right? Like making a double.
See if we can catch in the house action. There we go. Look at that. What a great camera crew.
Wow.
Couple of waves their way, and it takes them no time. But here's a final shot of the third
For
end.
3, it's a big end. They're sweeping. They're close here.
They're on and off, and that's always a good sign.
And the double was made, and that count them up. That's 3 for Hardy. Big 3 in the third end over there to go up 4-1 on Botcher.
I don't know if I'm more impressed with the shot or the camera shot.
The
but,
camera work to get
great
right over
job
there.
by the Over brothers there to quickly get us over and watch that great shot by Jeremy Hardy. They're picking up momentum. It took them an extra end in the first game of this Bondsfield over on sheet 1 to get going, and then they quite a great game last night they played to beat Team Appleman, Ted Appleman's first game of the event, and now here they are against Botcher with a bit of an upper hand, taking a 3 there. But early on in that game, and we saw Botcher last night come back strong, and you can never count them out.
No, that's that game's far from over. So if you're going to give up 3, you want to give it up early for sure. But Hardy will be they'll be happy with that result.
Easy.
Yeah, and Heather Rogers, I can see over there. She's their coach, and of course, being supported by Shannon Kleinbrink. Seen her out checking all the rocks during the games to see who's throwing what. And that's what people don't always see, Mike. The fifth players and the coaches. It's not just behind the glass mapping out the game or watching the players play. They're listening in on them. They're usually mic'd up. They're also, seeing what rocks are being thrown by other teams so they can get a head advantage when they play on those sheets of what rocks might be better matched together. It also shows respect for the other teams as well.
Yeah, you know what? It's not just 4 people on a curling team these days. It's like an entourage out there. So usually have a coach and a fifth, and maybe now they have 2 coaches, a sports psychologist. So it's becoming big business for these curling teams to be able to compete with the best in the world for sure.
That's commentators. I mean, look at Carly. Gets you up in the morning, gets you coffee
Well, I don't
on the
drink
way
coffee,
here.
but I get you coffee.
You got me coffee, yeah.
So
all the
don't
support.
blame it on Carly, because I don't drink coffee, so I don't actually think about it. Carly, she's the considerate one of the 2 of us.
Absolutely. She was here this morning too, and it's always great to see her. And as we say, it's a family affair here. So you've got Mike commentating, Carly, she's here supporting and cheering on Jacob. Jacob's playing, and we know that the rest of the family's watching and listening at home. So
Oh yeah, they're probably listening in just
clean for line.
to watch the game. Well, my mom's one of Cooey's biggest fans, so I'm
Line's good, guys.
guaranteed
Go if you have
she's
to.
watching in right now.
Line's good. Okay, little room. Line's good. Go if you have to. Hard, guys.
I think they got to go for
Get
wind
it
here to
here.
get it frozen.
Hard, 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 hard.
Looks real good. It's finishing hard. Just
Yep,
a
yep, yep, yep.
little short.
So they dragged that at least 3 or 4 feet. I thought that was going to stop up by that Qualico mixed doubles logo, and here it is tucked in behind.
Yeah, and you know what?
like
It's
the end? Turn
it's
it
kind
off.
of not very good for Team Kennedy. They left a staggered guards up in front now in the middle, so Kui's going to try and wrap another one to the side of the button here. Really put the pressure on Kennedy. You'll see him run up. If you make this shot, you'll see Kennedy run up and open up the front. So John
room,
Morris
room.
here throwing second for
Definitely
Team Kui.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's good.
Top button.
Line's good.
2010 Olympic champion
Line's
with
good.
Team Martin.
T-line, T-line.
Hey, mixed doubles champion.
Good.
First and only so far mixed doubles
Hard
Olympic champion
line.
with Caitlin Loss.
Whoa, yeah.
Off. Man.
Just like George Lyon, right? We've got the first golf gold medalist, and we have the first mixed doubles gold medalist for Canada.
That's right.
Those can never be taken away.
Nope. Yeah, John's
Like
been a
this.
huge supporter of
Get one of them.
mixed
Open
doubles
stuff up.
over the years. I know he's heavily involved with your Qualico doubles event here, and
It's
probably one of the main reasons you got it going out here, I think, over the years.
Absolutely. It was right after the Olympics. Actually, before the Olympics, we had some conversations about mixed doubles, and I know he was looking to support that type of play, and it led to the Qualico mixed doubles, a great event right after Christmas time. It brings a lot of the top international teams and Canadian teams, and at this year's event, the winner will get an automatic berth into the Canadian Olympic trials, so playing for a lot.
shot, Aaron.
Yeah,
Right.
no, it's a great event. I've been up here a couple times, and it's the best teams in the world. I mean, if you're going to go watch a mixed doubles event, this is the place to do it. But so you'll have to tune into the live stream again, because I don't think there'll be any spectators again. I'll be watching because I think my son's going to play in it this year.
Yeah, it'd be exciting to have Jacob up. Remember when we were at the Canadian Juniors together, and obviously when they didn't make the championship round, they get put into mixed doubles, and
Yeah, that's right.
Jacob had a good run there.
Yeah, no, it was it's quite an experience there for sure. That our boys got to go to Canadian Championship together, and you got to dress up like I won't mention what. And I know we have pictures, which maybe we'll show up here one time when we get going. But
You know, Mike, fondest memories were you and I walking from one end to the next and talking about what just happened, and then getting to repeat that 8 times.
Yeah, so we got to talk about it a lot because it was a long way from one side to the other of that rig. We got our steps in.
I don't mind it.
Well, things are stacking up well here for Cooley. He's got good stagger. Mike, are those good staggers, would you say?
Yeah, you know what? It's definitely not a great situation. He would have liked to have that yellow just above the tee line for sure, but you'll see Kennedy open up the front here. He'll try and play some kind of run back double and maybe roll for another corner.
I guess if it was later in the end, you might come down and freeze to it because but it's still early enough to rip things away and maybe reset next end, right? And that's what you have to think about, Mike. What for you? Like, what point in an end is it? Is it the seconds last rock, the thirds first? When do you coach your teams to start to think of bailing and starting
usually
again?
we go on the seconds last shot. I mean, with the 5 rock rule, you got to wait a little bit longer here. But it's keys to recognize the angles and if you're control of those angles or not. And if you feel uncomfortable with the situation, it's probably time to bail. And, but you notice on Kui's last shot, they swept that yellow to the back 4 and didn't leave it at the back of the button because, you want to leave yourself room for 2 rocks, you'll hear sometimes. Leave space for 2 so that in case Kennedy ends up playing a freeze down there at some point, that Kui can come in and freeze and get a little closer to the button. So you'll see a center line guard here for a bit and maybe another run back. And at some point, if they don't make the run back, they're going to have to play the come around freeze.
Whoa, Benny, it's fine. Line's fine. Doesn't have to go for line.
It's got to stop for weight.
They know it's going to curl.
Whoa.
Sit.
Nice shot, Beach. Attaboy.
Good spot, Beach.
Beauty.
Very good.
That's perfect. Can't really freeze that one.
Not much better than perfect, I guess.
Nope.
Again, he'll try this
Like
double.
we go that way now, Roy. Okay, try to roll off of here.
Mike, I'm looking outside, something you tend to do at this rink a lot because, as I said, about 75%, maybe 60% of that left wall, the tall wall, is all all glass. We've got a good snowfall starting to come down here. I think we'll be skiing soon.
Yeah, they're talking about a snowstorm here this weekend, and I think they're calling for 25 centimeters, so it's going to make my drive home a lot tougher when I leave to go back. But not a bad place to get stranded here in Banff, that's for sure.
I'd say not, no. Mike, where'd you go to dinner last night?
We were at the old traditional, the Keg here in town, and love it there. Been there a few times here in Banff. Been there lots everywhere, but
A little less.
love the blackened chicken
Little
at
higher
the
for
Keg.
sure.
One of my favorite meals.
Gotta go for
Maybe
it.
the Keg will want to sponsor here if they're listening at some point.
Blackened chicken, I love it. It is a great, great, great meal.
Yes. I don't get a lot of vegetables, though. Double mashed potatoes. Little farther back than they wanted this time, but still nice center guard. You might see Kennedy make a move here.
You know, there's a chance that Johnny just moved Benny out of the way and said, I'm taking this
I'd
one
like to
in.
chase that.
There you
just
go.
depending on what turn we're seeing. Out turn? I can see about over a quarter of it on this side.
Okay.
You think I'm bored and just roll it out to the corner?
I want to make sure we get rid of yellow, but yeah.
That guard's so high with the amount of curl
Yeah.
we're getting, they think they can get to it and roll and stay in the ring. So
I'd just be worried that it's really thin to make that roll. You might not lose the yellow.
I'll go like heavy hack.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of that heavy hackish again.
Yeah, I think we'll.
Let's just try to hang around, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
I think I got more than enough room.
Okay. That same heavy hack, but
Okay.
and did receive a picture of that World Canadian Juniors back there of your outfit. So
Clean.
Clean.
I can't confirm or deny that was me, Mike. It's a little blurry, a
Yeah,
little bit off.
Whoa!
close here, they're clean. This has got a
Oh,
curl.
really good throw. Here it comes.
Great weight control.
Now you just got to watch it. Will it spin out?
Is the yellow going to get out?
Will the blue stop first?
Great shot, Rowie.
Oh,
You just can't play any better than
perfect
that.
shot. But you're going to see Kevin play the come around here.
Yeah, you really you can't go after that blue. It's
Gotta get second
buried
shot.
over there. So
Yep. he'll go
Benny's at it
timely.
best. Got to get second shot.
Best guard, a second shot.
Yeah, I mean, if we get to place it.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like half in the eighth. Like
Yeah,
full buried.
Second shot buried. He has the
Bending
same
a
exact
hair on
same
this
shot.
side, half in the eighth.
And then we got to just.
As long as we're beating this one out.
Right.
It's not that bad if it's top 12 even right there, right? Then he freezes, right? Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I go there and it chases,
Then you
I've
got the same shot.
shot.
Okay, I'm in. You betcha.
It's always good when the players are on the same page, agreeing with it. So they've picked their spot just halfway in the 8. Kevin's first shot at the end. Chance to lie 2.
Yeah,
Put the pressure back on.
Yeah. Top 8.
Line's great.
Wait,
Little bit for line.
Line only.
just for line.
Wait's
Okay.
pretty good.
Top 8.
It's gonna little bit for line if you can. Line's great. Line's great. Line's great.
Full 8.
Whoa, whoa. BJ's in.
It's got to stop.
T-line.
Okay.
This one coming a little deep.
No, let it bury, John.
Okay.
Oh, good throw, Kev.
Well, deeper than they wanted. It does allow, obviously, Kennedy to come down on that. They are behind the tee line. As we know, guards and rocks behind the tee line favor the person with
Like, get rid of
last
one of the
rock.
yellows, still keep that in play, but like, so if you
In
came
turn.
if you came in this, this way?
Yeah. I think just kind of like that back line with the intern again.
But you'd probably rolling off if you want to get this out, right? Are you fine with that, or do you just want to come in this way and just move this to here?
I'm just kind of seeing like getting to nose with back line and getting rid of the 4.
Okay.
Trying to get to nose a 7.
Okay.
Stay buried
I think
and keep that in play.
Sure.
I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Is the
you can
shot.
probably do it this way, right?
I see what you mean though. Like it's gonna 7's gonna squirt a little bit.
Yeah.
Or we just play that
Yeah, I don't know if I think trying to get rid of the 4, we risk bouncing off and we're losing what we really want to do.
Yep.
So what if we just, as long as you move that 7, the 4 is never really going
Just
anywhere
move
at this
things a
point.
foot. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I still like this intern side though.
Yeah.
All right, looks like the decision is to come around top that top yellow and create a bit of a wall behind the one at the button.
Right there.
Do you want to go with, Do you want to go with the same shot we played in the second, where we went here?
Well, the second end I was 4 feet through the house.
It's true too.
So it's 2 different shots.
Yep.
Like this is just a heavy draw with sweep kind of thing, right?
True enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, just get to nose and
Yep.
So if you look here, they're playing a heavy draw. You see where the broom is. It is a good,
what's that? Yeah.
a good way out there. Usually
What's your
you're
guys'
at the
preference here? Like,
8-foot line when you're drawing the
can get to
button,
nose
and you can see the curl that we're getting here in Banff, and he's throwing it to tap that rock. So he'd be at least middle of 12 if this was a straight draw to the button. So some great curl to get around, which is why even if your rock's buried, if the player plays the right weight, he can get to it.
well,
But what if we dislodge? If we get rid of the back one and we
what
freeze
we're playing right now is like a 3/4 rock tap and make a little bit of a pocket.
Oh, okay.
And you're right, they're probably just coming to the face of it. And then we
So it
might
looks
have
like
an
they
angle.
slipped a little behind the tee line there.
I'm just saying this. If we get rid of the back one,
Kennedy's going to have to play the freeze down on top.
Well, he's looking to just tap it a bit and create a bit of a wall to make it harder for Cooey to get out. But like they're discussing right now
Come
at the
back,
front
Glenn.
end,
Yeah.
if you do that, Cooey just comes down and freezes on top, and then you might not even be able to score depending on
Let's not
Yeah.
call the shots
how
on the
much
other
room
end.
is left.
I know.
Talk
Let's
about
play
it.
this, Roy. Okay, let's play it.
I think you
So
can get
just
pretty
guys,
much
we
most
wanna
of the
move that
button
one
here.
rock
So
foot.
So back forward draw, basically.
yeah, we're looking for about 15 seconds here.
Threw in, as I said, in the second end out here. A different shot, but at least it came down this line.
Easy. Easy. Line's good. Clean, just clean. Just clean. 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 Line's good. Yep. Hard line. Hard line.
Just jumped
Hard
in that
line.
spot again. We've seen that a
Hard
few
line.
times. They're just
Really hard line.
weight looks
Really
close.
hard line.
They really got to stay on it. Actually,
I
not
lost the
bad.
line a bit actually. That
Probably
spot's
just-
kind of jumped a few times on these players and just not picking up on it.
Wait, you got to go out turn. I like switching on it, Beach.
His kind of grab there.
No, I know.
It's almost easier with the intern if you want to throw like a.
It is.
Okay.
I think the intern's a shot to maybe he can almost get in, just nose and roll the top of the button there. And it'll be real hard for Kennedy to get one.
Tricky, and you got to hit. Yeah, I agree.
The other thing with that is, you just want to move it
You
just
know
to
what?
the
I
outer
like-
edge of
I
that
think if
4,
you
but you want to
throw-
make sure you're 1 and 2, right? You don't want to give him a chance to,
There, eh?
You don't
to
wanna leave
move
any
you to
kind of
get 2,
double.
right? So,
Definitely don't want to leave him a double for 2.
and you have to be careful, Mike. I
Late
mean, if
with
this
back
rock
4,
unfortunately ends up in the wrong spot, Kennedy could have a shot to get rid of all 3 yellows and bring
Yeah.
that back one into play because they're all clumped so close together.
Yeah, you got to be right here, that's for sure.
Back 4 foot, Kev, I like that.
And I like the precision, and we talked about this yesterday when they were throwing, the precision with which they don't just kind of generalize the shot or where they're going to go. They really make sure that it's precise.
Yeah, they don't say let's just draw it in there. It's basically we got to throw exact back 4 weight. That way they move the rock the distance that they need. So, but like you said, they just want to be able to sit 2 after this one.
Yeah, there you go, Robinson. He's got a stopwatch out. Obviously, it's going to be important to get a time on this because very likely Kennedy will be drawing down the very same path and the very same weight.
Yeah, might have the exact same shot to score in a minute.
Hard, Betty. Really gotta go,
Cooey wasn't wide here for sure.
Really gotta go.
Benny's got to go hard to hold it.
Oh, and you don't want to split open that center line guard.
Looks like he's doing pretty good. Whoa.
Oh no.
Oh, did they?
Okay. Uh-oh, this looks like it's going to just rub off and go, but oh, he can't sweep back there, but it's okay. His own rock.
Yeah, he can sweep
He
his
can
own
sweep
rock.
his own rock, yeah. Well, now he just has to inch
Mike.
this out to lie 2, doesn't he?
And he might be able to.
Yeah, just a soft double.
You know what? You don't.
No?
No, same shot.
That second shot?
Yeah. So
It's just about touching it anyway.
I'm gonna sweep it so we don't touch it, so we don't ever just do this.
Okay. Do you want a similar weight then, I guess,
I think exactly the same.
Okay.
You can throw it.
Well, they got that break they wanted, didn't they?
They got a chance for 2 here.
Is that over curling?
You know, it's funny.
Burns
Do
okay
you,
with
do you
sweeping,
think
right?
on that line
It's
call,
called
just
properly?
after what they saw, the shot before with Kennedy's, how it really took off? Do you think they were just a little nervous about that spot, Mike, and then maybe that little extra weight's why it didn't
Yeah,
it
they
didn't
kind
come? Or
of they jumped the sweeping and didn't really communicate the weight right away. So
We don't have to double, guys.
it's
If
a
we
couple
just
times we've seen them
if
jump
we
the
hit
sweeping on
3/4 of it,
Kevin's
it's
throw
two.
a little bit and cost
so
them.
same throw.
We'll see if it costs them big time here
I'll
because the
give you guys
deuce
the
is
same
big in
thing
this
and we'll
game.
just manage
It's
it.
been all singles so far.
yeah, control of even ends and ahead with that deuce would be a good spot for Kennedy. I mean, they played well, right? We saw that in the first 2 games they played. Libas had an advantage early on in that game, I thought, and then they sprung that 4 and 6. And
Yeah,
of course,
that was-
Libas was going for an end to catch back up and got caught a bit in 7 that ended the game. But then he came right back last night
Easy
and
early.
had a great game.
Easy,
and
easy. Easy
yeah,
early.
they're really showing their stuff.
Yeah,
Easy
that's a big
early.
shot right here. They like the lines hanging out there.
It's got less
Be
weight though.
close though. There it goes.
Clean. Yep, hard.
Looks real good here. They got to go to move it though.
Really hard.
And they can't have it hit the back
Really hard.
yellow. It's got to
No.
get by that clean, and it won't.
Just maybe a little less weight than expected.
Hold that thing,
Things
man.
like that. Where are you getting that finish?
The magic spot.
Another single.
Another single. Tie ball game again after 4.
I just had the.
It's almost unmakeable with that weight. The weight's That's a good coming in break. sideways, eh?
You know, now you hear about the trickiness with the weight, eh?
I think they were just down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I always say it's never the ice's fault.
They just need another
You know,
3-4 feet on that, right?
Sometimes you do miss. Okay. As an ice maker, I know what it's like. I think another 3 feet, they make that perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got to trust it. They kind of got off it a little bit there, thinking it wasn't going to curl, but they got to trust it's going to go. It's done it every time in that spot.
Yeah, and you know, they had second shot there too, right? I mean, oh, sorry, third shot, so or second shot. So there really wasn't as much risk. If you're a little bit heavy and you just chisel it, you're still going to get, you're only going to give up 1, right?
Yeah,
So.
absolutely, yeah. Well, going to see a center line guard put up here because they're going to try and force in the odd end.
Yeah, we're halfway through. And if we look over on sheet number
Wow.
2, we see that, you know, Hardy, after that great double to take 3, Botcher came right back, rocks in play, and they were able to get that 3 right back on them. So
Clean it. Line's good.
Big momentum shifts over there in that sheet too, for sure.
Okay. It's going to over curl a bit. It's over curling.
Half tight.
Right here.
Half tight. A little bit now. Yeah.
Yep,
Just a little bit. Little bit. Yep.
You might even throw 2.
Pretty subtle.
Hard. Boys, tied up with. Let's go there.
It's a great comment by Ben there.
Real nice.
Tied up with is a great position to be in.
She'll finish.
He's got something under his
A little
rock,
bit
I
early.
think.
Weight's pretty good.
Line's good, Johnny.
when you do, when you feel something like that, Mike, and you've passed that back line, not like Brad
This
was
should
able
curl.
to stop it, do you give it a little extra spin? Is that what the trick
Yeah.
is? A little more handle so that it doesn't just stop and start steering away? Or what would you do in that
Yeah, you
case
just
for
kind
a
of give a
curler?
little more rotation on try and knock it off the bottom. I mean, he got away with it there, but you can see, look, they're sweeping the line right now where exactly the rock went. You can actually see the little mark in the ice that the rock left. So, did leave a little bit there, but got away with a great shot. So that's
Just
the
half in the
difference. You
8.
throw a lot of
Dead
rotation,
free, split
sometimes it
center
won't
line.
affect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar.
And game on. Gonna draw right around on top of it.
Yeah, it's so important for Benny's there to stay above the tee line for sure.
Okay, gotta go.
Go, Ben.
Gotta
Line's
go.
good.
Just tight.
Hard line.
Just tight.
Hard everything.
Just tight. They got
Hard
a
everything. That's
Hard, keep it moving.
is that scrambled eggs again right
Yeah.
there? What?
Hard, guys.
That's
Looks like
over-
he's by.
That's over hard.
Hard. Very close. Hard. Line's not bad. Hard.
He's got it by. What a great sweep. And
That's
right
what
down. That's
happens.
going to weld
That's
it
what
on.
happens when hard everything happens.
Get a foot less of ice in me.
It's like all hell breaking loose, right? Well,
I'd-
great sweep.
Yeah, I like it. Run back
Yeah.
I like this. Speed's
T-line.
good here, fellas. I think
T-line.
that draw here.
You heard BJ. Let's just run back and blank the end.
Yeah,
But they're not. They're going to draw over.
can't run it yet.
I like it.
They're
I
going to
like
go
it.
up inside,
it's
and
all
then
there.
they'll
I think it's all
Kennedy
there,
will run it.
No, it's a
and
little there. It's just good.
then they'll
It's just
open
good.
up Blues and
Got to curl a bit here.
take the hammer going to six.
Line's good. Back speed,
So this ends over then,
speed.
Mike.
Pretty
Is that what
much,
we're
yeah.
saying?
We're going to have to talk the whole, and it's going to get pretty boring.
It's done. Next.
Yeah. Normally, you know, with these teams, you'd be saying, yeah, it's over. But today we've seen a few mistakes, so
Sweep, guys.
that's
There's a great shot,
perfectly
though.
executed spot.
Came down a bit, eh?
Little hit and roll
We try
behind,
this on
yes,
this
yeah.
one. Just here.
Oh, we watch
We know this way
this
pretty
next
well.
shot come down here by Aaron. I talked to Glenn before the game and, shared with him that there was a nice chat from
One of the mums of the juniors that he coaches yesterday. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So he said to say hello to all the juniors at the LZ Club. There's over 100 of them there.
Wow.
Largest in Edmonton, he thinks, and I would concur with
Clean.
100
Whoa, whoa.
kids.
100 kids
That's
is pretty
awesome.
good. I know we have normal season we'd have about 85 to 90 at ours, and we've got a quite big a club, but 100 is pretty amazing.
Okay.
Little
I like
mistake
hitting that
there.
all day. Keep the blank alive, and he's got no double off it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, Glenn also coaches his older daughter Julia's team. Team Matter is who she plays for, and so a little shout out to say hello to them too. Hopefully they're watching and learning from what Coach Glenn's doing here. He's in the thick with this game.
Yeah, what a great guy. It's nice to see these guys give back to the juniors and coach the programs. And I know Ben Hebert's got the same thing with his kids out there. He's looking to join a junior program and come out and coach, and it's pretty great to see. And Kevin's daughter curls a lot. I see her a lot in Okotoks. She played in our Bonspiel last weekend, and he was out coaching last year in Airdrie. So, I mean, you're not going to learn from anybody better than these players, that's for sure.
But I wonder when Kevin calls a timeout and says, "I do the triple run back," whether that's the right strategy for some of these kids. But
I actually coached against them last year in that event. We had those conversations. What would you play here? Oh, I know what I'd play here, but that's probably not the call they're going to make. Yeah, a bunch of 14-year-old girls or something. Not quite the same as Kevin Cooey throwing a 6-second peel down there, but it's amazing the talent of some of the juniors we have at this province for sure. With the great coaching, you can really see them getting better every time out.
you know, it's when you talk about it, the junior girls in Alberta. If you look at the records in the U18s and the U20s, silvers and golds and bronzes, like they medal all the time. We have probably one of the strongest junior women's athletes in Canada. Here in Alberta, and they just keep coming up. It's not a one-year hit or a two-year hit. It's not even one team. It's just multiples. Some just tremendous talent in the junior women at the U18 and the U20 level. Just pleasure to watch, and they're doing tremendous.
It's good. It's good.
Lots of great work here by Curling Alberta and all these clubs. Definitely for sure. They're, we're pretty fortunate. They get to play. You get to play against some of the best teams in the world in the men's and ladies divisions. But in the juniors, we got some. The competition is so tough. It just makes everybody better, and you get to those national championships. And you've already played a Bonspiel down in Airdrie or in Red Deer, and you're playing already against great teams. So it just makes them better for when they get to the national level.
And talking about top athletes with
shot,
daughters curling, I mean, Alyssa Nedowin, there's another one, and she's a tremendous curler. And in fact, this year at the Qualico mixed doubles, Dave and Alyssa are going to be playing in it.
Oh,
taking a run at that. They've done really well at the event they host Sherwood Park with some great teams, and they're coming up, and going to be excited to have them here and playing, and great to see Dave out playing. I know he's been coaching as well.
Dave coaches as well, yeah. Yeah, it's great. We always, a lot of the kids today, you'll hear that number system called out, the 1s and the 2s and the 7s, and every time I'm at the event, I'm like, there's the guy, his team invented that number system, so that's pretty neat.
So who invented the
Scrambled
egg system? The hard over easy poached one, the medium?
No idea.
Well done.
Well, kind of Jeff Stoughton used to throw easy. Easy was a lot for Jeff Stoughton. You heard that back in the day. Just easy here, guys, instead of control. So, again, all those weights are based on times from hog to hog. So, Easy might
Okay, I
be
like it.
I got there. Woo,
control
don't
weight
hit.
hit, which would be around
I
10
like it.
seconds from hog to hog. And
Is that the standard, Mike? I just person in the lounge said that was a 27, and I almost fell off
Back
my
eight, back
chair
12.
because I'm used to the hug to hog, and we've been
Yeah, this one has to
15.
come
And
down a bit, Coop.
he was talking about hog
to
to
the rock
finish.
stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The hog to hog is the one that you can has nothing, no variables controlling it, and it's the one everybody kind of understands out there. The, once you let the rock go, it's you got no more control over it. It just travels at a certain speed between
Rolly,
the
I
hog
think
lines. So
that's our call.
you use that time to compare to shots that are being thrown, and
Have to deal with it.
you'll see most teams do that. You will see splits and different stuff like that, but the hog to hog is definitely the most consistent.
And Mike, and again, I'm the Monday night curler. Well, I'm lucky, but the other one I've heard is people they slide out. Is it the back line or the T line to the hog, and they get the split 5-2 or 7-2? Or tell the viewers a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, the split the back. Normally, my teams and most of these teams you'll see go from back line to hog line.
Yeah.
You'll see a split that'll be somewhere in around 3-8 to 4-10. For depending on the team and the extension they throw, you can add a little bit, you can take off a little bit, but that just gives the sweepers a guide when they're deciding on where the rock's going to stop. But as a coach, in juniors, we try and really teach them to feel how hard the rock's going. I mean, definitely the stopwatch is great to guide and know if the ice is changing throughout the game, if it's getting quicker, getting slower, but when it comes to judging weight on the sweeping, we try and get them to learn how to feel it and look up where the rock's going and judge where it's going to stop themselves without that time. So just definitely great to have it as a guide, but we still make sure we encourage all the young teams for sure to learn how to judge it without the stopwatch.
So that's an early indicator in essence, just like in business. It's giving you a sense of what might be happening between the hog to hog. So the hog to hog usually is an after the fact information, whereas that early split gives you a bit of a head start on what might be coming.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you just kind of can tell how someone threw it.
And Mike, because
if
I've
it's
listened to
close.
some of your live streams,
You've never listened to one. Don't lie to me. You only listen because I'm sitting next to you.
well, I still have to listen to it, though, Mike. But because of the fact that you got those time, but is someone else also watching the pass and remembering the paths the rocks are running on, so that they have a sense in an earlier end that this thing went hard or it's fudged or it's slower? I mean, as I said, we keep looking in the skip calls a game, someone throws it, people sweep, but there's a lot of that goes on that the front end players have to keep track of for the teams, isn't there?
Absolutely, all the time. Everybody's got to be engaged with every shot. The front end has to be engaged, the thrower and the guy calling the line, because you never know when you're going to have to throw it again. You got to know what happened the first time to learn from that. And, you could not play a spot the whole time, and the speed could be a little different there, and that communication has to be relayed back to the thrower. So that's why you need to make sure you know that information, because there's nothing worse if your skip comes down and says, what's the speed in this spot, and you can't answer the question. So that's why everybody has to be engaged the whole game. Tough to do, but mandatory to beat some of these best teams in the world.
Mandatory. You heard it here from Mike. Well, chance to make a double and get rid of these two yellows.
Whoa. Yeah. Hard. Right up. Shooter.
Like to stick around here. What a great throw.
Absolutely. Almost ducked it too.
Yeah.
But there's still that back yellow one in, right? It jammed there. So
Yeah, they can hit and roll over here.
Sure. Should be, well, I think very board or a little less with heavy board.
That jam was there all day.
just a little unlucky on that jam.
Looks like ice for control, eh?
Yeah, they want to hit and roll just probably top four, make the double tough.
Yeah, they want to avoid the jam themselves too.
Absolutely.
A little half rock with.
Definitely trying not to leave a double, and you don't want to let them get at the end by rolling under cover here. So, got to be precise. Every shot out here you got to take serious and throw it to the best of your ability for sure. It's not just a casual run down there and hit it. You got to make sure you roll to the right location when you're playing these best teams.
Whoa, clean. Clean up. Whoa, yep. Hard, roll it. Okay.
All right, well, let's see if Kennedy goes for the roll or if they tries to play slash double here. Cooey will probably be happy either way as long as he doesn't has a chance to blank the end.
Out turn. Just Half rocks, close.
Yep.
Going to try the slash. That means he's going to try and run the top
Yep.
one into that back yellow at the back 12.
Just
and
an
see if
inch
he can
off
get rid of
center
both
line.
rocks.
Okay.
Well, on sheet number 2, we get ready for Kennedy's throw. Hardy had a chance to draw into lie 2 and set himself up good with only 2 rocks left, but he came up short, well short, in fact. Not sure what happened to the rock, but it gives Botcher a chance to pick out the one yellow. He'll lie 3, and Hardy will be facing that with the back of his mind, the previous shot that fudged up on him.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't see the result there, but
I'm watching our game, though. Don't worry, Mike.
yeah, so I see you're paying attention to both.
Yep.
Talented, buddy. You're talented. Close here.
Gotta hold this.
Whoa, gotta let it go. It's close.
There it is.
Great double. So Coy will run down here and just throw it through and blank the end and go to 6 with the hammer. Now on sheet 2, Hardy's definitely drawn against 3, like you said. We're going to see if he can make this. Not much to watch on our sheet. Kevin's just going to throw this one through, but just a reminder to all those young teams, when you are throwing rocks through, you do pick a location that you want to learn for later in the game. So it's not just a throw through. They pick a spot, they throw a weight, and see how much it curls. But sheet 2, we're going to see if Hardy can make the draw against 3 here.
Here we go, over on sheet 2.
Big shot here to stay in control of the game.
Draw on 3. Only has to get full 8, so that's the blessing of it. He does have some backing if he's a bit up. Rock's coming down.
Yeah, as a thrower, you just try and get in the hack and throw T-line weight.
They were keeping
You
it
don't,
clean, but they're really keeping the brushes off, feeling like it's gliding. Here we go. Great camera work there by the Over brothers. It seems to be tracking towards that back one.
It's going to have to sit a little bit here.
Yeah.
But again, they can't sweep it, so great throw by Hardy.
Yep.
That'll be 1 yellow to take a 1-point lead after 5 ends.
So, down 1,
Both
but with
games
2
are close.
scores. Yeah. And there we go. Just a big thank you once again. We don't want to forget the people who are helping make this happen. ATB, just wonderful sponsors, not of this event only, but of curlers and curling in general in Alberta. And big thank you for them for all they do and their support. Of course, the Banff Curling Club giving up their ice this Thursday through Sunday so that this event can happen. Really appreciate the support of those members. And not only are they giving up their ice, Mike, but they're here volunteering and giving their time. And so a big shout out to the Curling Club, Town of Banff, who run the Fenland facility, for allowing this to happen and being very supportive of this event and seeing the safety that Curling Alberta and curling in general is doing in order to give them the confidence this event going on. Of course, Curling Alberta, all the work they do, not just this year leading into the events with COVID, but also all the hard work to pull those championships off and name great champions in our province, but also support of the curling clubs, not just in the big centers, but in the rural areas and helping everybody out. Just great ambassadors for our province. And yeah, Jill and her team, thank you very much for all you do for curling.
Yeah, big thanks
province.
to ATB for sure. They are going to sponsor the event. We're having an Okotoks in a couple weeks as well, so they love to give back to curling. And you know, I said it earlier, I can't say enough about what Curling Alberta did this summer to get us through COVID and help the clubs feel comfortable to reopen. And you know, they did a spectacular job. I was part of some of the committees, and but so it helped a club like ours to make sure we're comfortable and know what we had to do to make it happen so that everybody can stay safe. So again, I can't appreciate enough what they did for us this year.
Yeah, great resource page. So if you're at a club or you're curling in a league and you want some information or good resources or stickers or all the likes, you can go there to the Curling Alberta site and look up those resources and those toolkits and all that's available to the clubs. It's not being sold. It's there because we want our sport to be safe. We want it to succeed. And Curling Alberta is certainly making all that available. And we should also say they work with Curling Canada too, right? It's one big community, and it's different in every province, as we know. They're reacting different and have different rules. So certainly the provincial bodies are taking the lead, but Curling Canada has been there to support it. We appreciate what they've done there. Catherine Henderson and her team in Curling Canada and the support they've given to Curling Alberta through this as well.
Yeah, no, we appreciate everything they've done for sure. And again, the big thing for them is they're looking out for the clubs, which is great to see that they're all successful.
Good. Come on, John. Weight's good, Benny. Go then. Clean,
Oh, here we go again. 6th end. Top 4, corner guard.
Gotta go hard, John. Come
and then you need a freeze by Ben here.
Go, Beach.
Nice.
Sweep him, guys. Way to go.
Well done.
Perfect shot.
Yeah.
Shot, Benny.
Penny seems to have his weight down exactly correct. The last few ends here has been real good all game.
Yeah. couple early misses, but since
think
then
right to
really haven't
either-
seen
either right to
anything.
the
And of course,
face.
you know, it's what we say, even if your shooting's a bit off.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's a
the
shot.
sweeping is such a critical
Top
part
eight.
of this game and what he adds to the
Jiggle a
team
little bit's okay.
in that department.
Well, and Brad on the Team Kennedy as well. He's just kept up for sure. It's like he's made a ton of shots. It's hard to compete with, you know, a guy that's been two-time Olympian, and it's kind of a little intimidating. But Brad has really been excellent this game as well.
And I know that Grandma Darlene would be happy.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Brad's last name because
Line's good.
I'll butcher it. So, and I know Brad's such a great guy.
Coco Reyes.
Coco Reyes, yeah. Coco.
Yep. Hard line. Hard line.
Got to go hard to get this by. Looks like it's really good.
Whoa, Brad. Oh, I kind of stopped curling.
Wow,
Okay,
nice
buddy.
throw.
It's a nice weight call.
Well, you might see Kevin make a move on this.
You know, when I look at that setup, Mike, thanks for that close-in view, guys.
Okay, try to miss.
That looks like
Hack weight,
the
eh?
Briar, where Furby lost. Nova Scotia drew around those 3 in a house.
What's the play?
There was a stagger at top. It was against Mark
Halfway hit
Dacey in
rolling.
Calgary
On the guard.
Yeah.
in 2003.
Half
4.
stone.
Well,
Someone will let us know, I'm
won't be
sure,
right.
online
Yeah.
and send in a comment. But
and it was a stagger like that in the house, and they just kept coming around it, and
Mark Dacey kept burying back 8 and
3, and they
scored
won
3 to win the Briar.
against a team that
One of the greatest teams ever assembled, for sure,
Yeah.
by Furby.
Oh, Benny,
and Dacey, of course, had been playing at Brad Height out in Saskatchewan before that.
Yeah, and then moved to Nova Scotia. Yeah, when he won that Briar.
Watch it, Beach. Get it all the way in there, Beach. It's a great shot, Johnny.
What a great shot. And they just wrapped that
Wow.
in as a biter.
Yeah, it's really
shooter.
setting up. Starting to set up well here for Cooey. Kennedy's got to be careful here.
Move something around here.
Yeah.
I'd love to roll into it, right?
He recognizes
I think
the
just
danger.
that nice normal again, man. Good normal.
Yeah, he knows.
Half rock kind of thing.
The angles are good for Team Cooey right now in the house, and even though Kennedy's sitting 1 and 30 right now, it's still he's not feeling 100% comfortable.
I don't think he ever would be knowing that Kevin Cooey's got 2 rocks coming.
Easy.
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa.
exactly, and then he's got his corner guard up there, and
Yep, yep.
got to be precise here.
Whoa. Roll it. Big roll, really. Big roll. Move something.
There it is,
What a
just
nice
like they
throw.
called, yeah.
Yeah, very nice throw.
Here now. Now you can make the triple.
I think you're going to see all the blues go away here in a second.
It'd be a bit tight. He's going to hit that right in the V there, right? And it may not
Well,
get
I think the
that center line blew out
nose
just
isn't
because of
that
it.
bad.
I think he's going to play a hit and roll off the blue to the right over here, actually under the corner.
It'd be nice to make this roll, eh? But I kind of like playing the weight that if I miss it
Yeah,
on the
but Mike, if these players listen to the live stream, you might get a call to go out and play. If nothing else, your strategy.
Can't throw it like that, but
I love playing with firm.
I think he's going to have to play the hit and roll behind the corner. He might keep the blue on the left as we're looking at it from behind the sheet, but then he'll have shot behind the corner,
Yeah,
and he'll
okay.
have another one sitting there top 4, and
Froze on that, eh?
Yeah.
he'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, I like it. And try to roll frozen, eh?
So they're going to just nose it
Okay, I like
and
it.
roll frozen on the one top 8. That way they'll get rid of the blue that they're hitting and the one at the 4-foot. This is probably
Yeah, I
going to
like
end
that
up where
play.
you might see a lot of rocks moved around here for a
7,
couple
8.
shots and then come around the
Oh, no,
corner.
on
So
DJ side.
don't be surprised in a couple shots here. There's none left in the rings.
Corner frozen on that other one.
Are we about to
7,
hit
8.
reset, maybe?
Possible.
You know, Mike,
Yeah.
or these socks today, because what you're seeing more and more, and I know you can't see it as viewers, but you know, the players are wearing funky socks. I've been noticing that, you know, and when you look
what
out
is
there,
with them? I don't really pay attention to their socks that much, Steve. But hey, you are noticing those little things.
someone's got to look
Attention to
after the
details.
fashion going on in curling, and I tell you, I
Just roll
see
this
more
underneath.
crazy socks when they're changing their shoes in the lounge. I don't know what you do when they're in the lounge, Mike, but I am checking out the socks, and I tell
Yeah.
you, some great patterns out there.
I only notice if they wear white socks, which is just faux pas to me. You know, I like the funky socks or black, but never want to see white out there.
Well, it's good to know if I'm ever curling against you. I think I'll make sure I put on a pair.
Pair of white socks, they'll throw me off.
Well, if anybody's playing in the Tuesday night league against Mike Libis, you might want to remember wear your white socks. Hard sweep here. Looks like he's got a good one coming in. Got to hold it,
He's
though.
going to try and roll under the stagger. Can't roll out too far. Just missed the call a little bit.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, man. Yeah, I didn't
mind
you
the
guys
draw
like
either.
the-
Oh, it might be
Don't hate
lined
the
up
draw.
here. We
No, I
might
don't
see a
But-
nose hit double with the yellow that they're hitting roll under the corner.
Well,
Takes-
the nose
takes
Real
the blank out of
close.
hits
play.
pretty good.
Nose is really good.
Nose is really nice,
we
and
wanna
the
make
yellow
sure-
probably
And if
rolls
we
under the
nose, he doesn't
corner.
have a double off the top because this one goes into that now.
Yeah.
Dead nose. Kind of weight.
There you go.
Who needs a telestrator when you got Kevin Cooey in the
Yeah,
house?
I know. He just taps his broom where he wants the rocks to go.
Yeah. Boom, boom, and boom. I'm looking at you take another one of the donuts there, Mike. You know, we may, if this stream doesn't end soon, we may not get one.
I took one already, even though I shouldn't have. They're not really gluten-free, and I'm unfortunately gluten-free. So, but I ate it anyway. My wife wasn't very happy.
Oh, Mike. But that's why you go to the keg. My dad's celiac, and
You know what?
I tell you, he
I
loves
was
the
wrong.
keg.
I wasn't wrong. I was wrong. We didn't go to the keg. I threw it out there. I said the keg, but we actually went to Earl's.
Earl's.
That's where the blackened chicken is the best. And it didn't quite curl up enough, so
Yeah, I didn't quite get to nose, so he didn't get the double, and he's, let them out of the end again.
yeah, they have to be careful they don't jam though.
Nose hit.
Still chance for two here for Team Cooey. They're not in any fear of a steal, that's for sure. But
No.
It's here. Go here.
don't want to jam on the back one.
Same weight.
Nose hit.
Wow, and just over on sheet 2, just a run back double
Wow.
by Darren Molding, and
Clean.
it looks like they're now sitting 3 over there. A bit of a change of the house there. Cleanup of the house, maybe better
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
Certainly, both games are just getting a treat. Some great curling today. I mean,
Good shot, man.
last night when we were seeing Ted Alphaman on sheet 4, and we're seeing Hardy, and we're seeing Kennedy, and we're seeing Cooey, we had Sternmay, we had Botcher. I mean, like, we had the top teams all
it's
at the same time out there.
It's amazing.
And the shots that were being made across all sheets was just phenomenal. And it's just such a treat to see this condensing of tremendous teams in
Yeah.
one spot,
And
right?
we're going to see it all season long. We're going to see it again in a few weeks in Okotoks, and then after that, I know they're all heading to Calgary and Red Deer and Medicine Hat to play. So, Medicine Hat, Calgary, Red Deer, those places wouldn't normally seat Cooey or Botcher there. I mean, I know Botcher's played in Red Deer. He's won it a couple times, but to get them all playing at the same time doesn't happen. So
No, it usually happens only on a poster, Mike, at
Yeah.
the beginning of the year.
that's right, or on TV. Oh, wait,
2 inches
they are
out.
on TV.
Yeah. That should
I
be
know my
close.
mom's got the streaming up on TV for sure.
Just get half buried kind of thing. You don't want to leave a cross-house doubles. The only,
No, that's true. You get it to T-line here, and you're
but
mitigating that.
everything's zapping hard, right? Yeah, I like that berm though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're probably right.
Yeah,
They're going to
just
play the
fight
come around
for it.
here. They're sitting shot, back house. And they're going to try and play come
Straight
around
draw,
here.
guys. Yeah, it hasn't changed. Yeah.
Hasn't changed. There's just shows how the ice has been great all so far the last couple days. Speed's still the same.
Just bite the 4-foot, guys.
Want to stay above the tee line here.
Top 4.
Okay.
Waist close.
Okay.
Line's
gonna
good.
Need to move.
Bit of room right now. Line's good.
Got a ton of room.
It's way out there. Easily. It's on the other side of center yet.
Can we get it
or
back
at
here?
the hog line, so
Yeah. Get it deep.
can't
If you
leave a
can.
double. I think
Just the old
Gotta be
half
back
pipe
4
style,
now.
eh?
Hey, you see them recognizing it now.
goes.
Back 4. Got to get a back
I know,
4.
man.
Like you can take.
Because you know,
You can take
Cooey,
edge
if
of
you
four
don't, if
or
you,
out in the
you give
12,
him any
edge of
angle and you
four.
know he's can throw it hard enough,
That's kind of what I was worried about.
and straight enough to make it.
yeah,
Good
you
sweep.
don't want to leave a double, so he's either going to play a freeze Which if he freezes 7/8 to that, it won't be removable because it'll jam on the one in the 12 foot.
You know what I like about Kevin is he has all these shots in the bag and can make it, but he doesn't use it recklessly.
No.
He doesn't just, you know, say, oh, I'm going to go at it anyways. He really calculates out, and he won't take a dumb risk.
Here we go. He's going to play some heat on this one, trying to play this double.
Well, I think what he's believing is he'll be able to get in behind that yellow.
Oh, no, it's like
He may not get the
7/8,
double, but he'll
3/4.
get over in behind his yellow and be behind guard and shot rock.
Yep.
I don't like this because he just freezes.
No, I like this. I like this. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to make the double
No,
here. If he can
just
get
gotta
behind
get
the
over
yellow,
yellow.
it's. But the good thing is, if he does roll too far, he probably catches off that blue and stays there.
We're going to see some heat here.
Clean.
Coming hard on this one.
Roll it!
Nice.
He made it easily.
But Mike, I mean, the commentating just set that up. I mean, it would never have been as good a shot if we hadn't have talked about how difficult that was going to be. So really, Mike, I mean, you know, things are better when they're set up better.
I guess even Benny said, I don't know if it's there, but wow, he made it easily. So
Let's run the beat, guys.
You know, that's as close to a smile and a nod that Coey's going to show you in terms of emotion.
there's the
He's,
excitement you see from Cooley.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you could tell he was pleased with that too. Well,
trying to make a double right back here.
we could have said that in double, Mike.
That's
we almost
true.
did that in
We
that go.
almost did.
Well, he's made some great shots here later in the game. Let's see if he can do another one.
Whoa, whoa.
On, off, you like that.
Is it close? They're not sweeping. Just didn't quite curl enough.
Well, what's the
Well,
right there, eh?
Well, this is the first big
So why is your hitter on my
opportunity in
second
the
one?
game.
Slides is good here. It's same
Yeah.
speed.
Well,
notice this front end is talking about same speed. It's sliding good here. You'll probably see that information relayed to the skip here if he asks for it.
I thought they said the sliders are good here, Mike.
Slider. I'd like a slider right now. I'm hungry.
Usually you get 3 of them, so you could even share one with me.
That's true. I would.
I know you would.
Somebody's listening out there and might bring us food for the next draw.
3 sliders, maybe some chips.
Oh,
I like
I'm
chips.
sure everybody would love to hear us munching on the chips.
Yeah, salt and
You're good,
vinegar,
Kev.
or you know, you
They're
all
good.
dressed, or what do
Line's
you?
good.
This front end likes it.
Keep a broom down, Benny. Keep a
As soon
broom
as I
down.
let it go.
Line's good.
Hey, and they
Keep
want
her
to keep
down,
the
boys,
broom
keep her
down.
down.
Don't let anything pick it up, right?
Keep everything clean.
You may have this one again. So
Notice they're
That's the-
thinking
that's
for
the-
later as well.
Yeah, they're watching it all the way to the end to make sure they know, right
Yeah.
on the pin.
Nice throw.
probably the keenest.
Well, the first deuce that we've seen this game.
Wow, that's a big deuce at this point in the game when
And
you're
in
tied in
6.
6 with 2 ends to go.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to see Kennedy go hard to score a deuce here and maybe steal the win in 8.
Yeah.
Or-
right now he's got the Ken Dryden pose, I always called it, where you're kind of on one leg leaning on your broom, or in his case, of course, it was the goalie stick down at
Yeah,
his end. And
That's right.
Of course, that shares the generation that we come from to be talking about Ken Dryden.
Well,
Maybe I
your
should say
gen-
Carey Price.
Your generation, bud. I was Patrick Waugh guy, so. Patrick Waugh was more of a walk into the bench, tell him I'm playing for another team.
Because I can.
Yeah.
Because I can.
Because you just kept me in for 8
guys,
goals
let's
or
get a
whatever
good
it
force
was. So.
Even a blind, fellas.
I'll never forget that. Of course, I also was around watching the Quebec Nordiques before they went to Colorado and won championships.
Yeah, the old Stashny days and
Yeah. But here we are at a curling event, Mike.
Joe Sakic before they went to Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just threw a
Do you
little
think
extra
any
ball.
curler ever goes over to the bench and says I'm playing for another team next week?
There's a lot of room. Eh?
No, I don't think so. No.
I'm sure it's happened somewhere down the line.
Line's good. Easy.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to go just short here because their goal is to force them to take one here.
As we say, anything from the front of the house out 3 feet, that's that attack zone. That's what you want to control. That's where you want your rocks. Easy to bring them back in the house, and of course covering that button. So I did pay attention in that strategy course there, Mike.
There you go. Halfway,
Okay,
just
lots
a
of room.
halfway guard between the hog line and the top of the house. So
And just as a reminder here, Mike, you can't remove the first 5 stones. Is that correct?
that's correct. Yeah. So it's an advantage. Both teams get to put up 2 guards if you think about it. Now we're back in the 4 rock that the team without the hammer could put up 2 guards. Now both teams can put up 2 guards before they can be removed.
So does that mean it's the 5th thrown rock that can start taking things out, or you have to wait till the 6th?
It's usually the 6th because the 5th they won't want to take out their own rock at that point probably. So they got 2 rocks each, and then there's a rock, and then the next one can start removing the
You
rocks.
can get it there for sure. Sweep it early if you have to.
Is that correct?
Hey, I'm the Monday night curler. As far as I'm concerned, we
Hey,
don't
I'm-
hit anything, Mike,
I'm
because
Tuesday night curler now, so
because you know the way I play is that if there's by the time it gets to my shot, if there's rocks, then I can kind of bump
it's
into
the
them,
6th
right?
thrown rock, so they
All
can
right.
both put up 2 guards, and then the next guy will put up another one. Come in, they can't hit the corner at that point, and then you
Gotcha.
can start peeling. So
All right. Well, I think it's been a good thing for the sport, Mike. I mean, it's added, it's just created some offense, right? Yes, they can get out of it. We still see blanks, but it does create some excitement, and it's also made the front end positions much, much more important in terms of the precision of shot making and that.
yeah, it's definitely generated lots of offense, and you know they're still always trying to tweak the game a little bit here and there to make it better.
Line's
but
good. In the room.
you know what? Last year at the Briar was some of the best curling I've ever seen in an event. So I think we're pretty close. I think the players like it, the fans like it, and I'd like to see them stay consistent here for a while with the rules because you know the average curler's trying to learn it, and we continue to change it. It makes it difficult for people that aren't involved in the game all the time. So.
You know, and
I'd like to see it consistent for a while. I think we're pretty close to where it should be. There is talk of maybe removing the tick. You know, the tick is another defensive mode, but you can actually use the tick as an offensive move too. I mean, you used to see Rachel Holman play the tick
Where you go to the button.
and play it for 2 corner guards. So I like the game the way it is right now myself. That's my opinion. Not that it means anything, but you know, I think it's great right now.
You heard it, Mike mic'd. That's his opinion.
Guys, button even back.
Yeah, and I think, you know, why having the mixed doubles game and watching it, you can just see the offense. I mean, that's really like draw after draw, and you've got chances for 6+ in those.
Yeah, I know,
you know, and it's
crazy.
exciting.
It's definitely exciting with lots of rocks in play. But you know what? For the real hardcore curling fan, a blank end can be exciting too. It's very strategic when they play them. So I mean, sometimes you'll have a lot of rocks in play, and next thing you know, it's going to be a blank. So I find that cool and unique to our game as well. And so I think it's great.
Well,
Love watching it. Well, I love watching the top teams play.
Linda Smith was saying her daughter is a big fan
really
of Team
like that.
Botcher and of Hardy, and so for her daughter, let's give an update on sheet 2. In the 6th end, Botcher was able to score 1. He was lying 3 at one point, but did get his 1. So we're all tied up playing 7, and Team Hardy has the hammer.
So she's a fan of both teams. So who's she cheering for?
Well, she's in school actually,
Oh.
so I don't know that she's cheering yet. But
Well, I mean, and maybe they're watching it from their phones today. You never know. I'm sure they're listening to the live stream, so they could be watching in class.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I would never recommend that, but if
Not-
she is,
not
hello.
officially, not
Yeah,
officially.
Not officially.
Oh, there's a good shot. Move some rock around.
Yeah, Kennedy's got 2 guards up in front and 1 behind the tee line, so
Well, whatever you want.
Outturn.
Cooley's going to go top 4 here.
Just through the end if you want.
I think the outturn's the way to go because if you don't completely bury, you don't want to. You can leave the side open that they won't roll behind the corner. If you play the intern and leave a little bit open, then they can hit and roll behind the corner.
Yeah, you saw that discussion. Johnny just pointed out to the right, almost like he wanted to pitch out there.
Yeah.
And then got in the hack, and Kevin
Give me the pitch out.
smartly moved over there and put his broom down. So.
You know, I liked your idea here. Explain to me why some people be looking at these lines coming down the ice and they're not quite exactly 4-foot lines like you normally would see at a curling rink. So explain to what the Banff Curling Club did there because I think it's a great idea. I wish I'd have thought of it. before the ice went in.
I'm sure you did, and you were talking to me there. But so yeah, normally we put them on the forefoot, and it just helps from the curler's point of view when you're sweeping to know where the rock is in association to that. What we did is we moved it out from the 4-foot to a 5-foot line, basically, so that it gives curlers another reference point for staying 6 feet apart. And so especially in the non-cohorted teams where they only have one sweeper, the other quote non-sweeper now would be able to follow down the ice and offer encouragement. They can't jump into sweep, of course, and in doing so it gives a reference point and it keeps people 6 feet apart. So if nothing else, it's just another opportunity to provide a reference for being safe.
Oh, that's great. I think it's a great idea.
I have to give Brian, our ice maker, he's the one who made
Thought
the
of that?
determination. I came in afterwards and asked what he was doing, and when he told me that, I said, I'm glad you listened to me. But again, it's we've seen around the province. I'm sure there's other innovative things happening, and like we said, if you just do the little things and they add up, it's just we want to be a safe sport. We want to be seen as that, and Airdrie held their event last week, and obviously time tells us a greater tale, but didn't seem to be any instances or stuff, and we're hosting this one, and so we want this to be continued successful opportunities so that people have confidence and feel the sport is a safe place to be and that it can be played safely.
Yeah, we hosted a junior one at the end of early October, and everything went great, and didn't seem we had any issues there, so thank God. We're happy to be moving on and just keep doing what we're doing.
And when you talk to the players, there's a lot of change in this, but I'm really happy how supportive they've been and how they're not fighting it and they get it, and they just want it to be safe too, and they're just happy to be out playing because like a lot of sports, we talked to CFL yesterday, they could have lost their season,
They've lost it, so it's over for CFL for sure. That's tough because they can't find a way to make it work financially without fans, and fortunately for our clubs, some clubs might feel a little bit, might be a struggle this year, but do whatever you can to get by and keep everyone out curling. And we've seen in Okotoks, we've seen a lot of new members this year. So, and a lot of the snowbirds aren't heading south this year, so they get to stay at home and curl a little longer. And clubs reaping the benefit for sure. Similar to what happened in golf over the summer.
Well, Glenn looks not too happy.
Well, the angles aren't set up great for Glenn right now. He's trying to find a way to generate a deuce here and not get forced to take one. So.
Yeah, if you look at the way the yellow's angled up there's no way for his blue to get in behind that on any shot he's playing.
Nope.
If he comes down to hit the top yellow and kind of roll over, he jams those two behind the center line yellow. That's not good for him. If he tries to come the other way, the yellow's scored over there. So really, when you look at the way these rocks are set up, Mike, Cooey has a good, strong advantage here and must be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's a big shot right here. You got to be close on this run back. So Cooey's probably happy with the angles and the situation. He's got his center guard up and he's controlling the top of the control zone right now, which is top 4 area. It's his rock. So
yeah, and identifying with that, Robinson's head down so they can have a good conversation about what they want to do.
If you're dead on the nose?
Yeah.
Oh, dead on the nose for sure.
It should.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
Or even if you're hair high side and just dead nut this. Right?
Yeah.
It's not bad either. I think that's the shot. Still might be a blank end out of this, right?
Yeah, no, that's right. It's probably, if we start doing anything else now, all of a sudden
it
gets ugly, right? Hit.
I think so.
We've thrown this turn a ton here. We know what it's.
What's that?
We've thrown this turn a few times here already, right?
Yeah. Aaron's moved a couple inches.
Yeah.
It's not doing much, though.
Good conversation there. It's really great being able to get in and listen to that, eh, Mike?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I hope the viewers listen at home to that communication, and
It takes that.
And I'd
really
say
learn a lot.
You're 100%. I mean, I just need to listen to your commentating because you've sort of preempted most of the big shots here.
Well,
as a big shot, that makes sense to me.
Sometimes I get lucky, and it's easy to call them. Not as easy to make them. But I make them all from back here. Oh, this is a little wide.
Yeah, I won't catch
Just
anything.
hit it on the high side, yeah.
Dead freeze our yellow.
Yeah?
I think he's going to put the guard back up myself. Usually when somebody wants it removed, you usually go put it back, so.
Hey,
Okay, I'm in.
if anything you want to, we got to show a little bit of arts of this intern still, though, right?
Nice and tight, eh, Kev?
We're just throwing a split in center, right? So we can.
They want to split center so they can run it in there later.
Well, also they want to make sure they give on the left side because that's the side they don't want to give them anything on the right.
No, that's right. I want to give them the left side. That's the angle. That's better for them. They're a little concerned that Kennedy might make another move into the
Weight's
rings.
good. Nice and tight on its own.
But if you're Coo, you're probably starting now to think about, well, if I can steal and go up to 3, that's almost game over.
Yeah,
Weight's good.
right now they're just hoping to make sure they try and force one here and be up one coming home with the hammer.
2/3. You're over curling. It's over curling.
Well, they
spot there,
overcurled
Beach.
the right
Very good.
side.
Yep. How they
How
wanted
about
it.
Beach? That's good.
Well, can Kennedy get all the way to the nose and slightly tap it a foot? I don't know if that helps him or not, but
I think same thing, just right in the nose.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess so, eh?
that's all they got. They got to get lucky here and try and get rid of the 2 yellows in the rings. Run straight back. You might get rid of all the yellows.
Well, they threw it.
Clean.
They should know what this line's like. It's coming back a
Whoa,
bit.
yep.
Falling there. It's falling.
Whoa, yep. Hard. Shot, Roy.
You know what? That didn't work out that
Didn't work
bad.
out too bad. They're gonna miss the line call a little bit, but
I think they were trying to hit the top yellow.
they were
though,
trying to
right?
hit the top one, but worked out not bad. Unfortunately, Cooey's Rock is still at the top of the 4 foot, and he's gonna make a move here. He's in the control zone, so.
Yeah. Just like in golf, though, when you hit one that goes a bit right in the trees and kicks back out on the green, you just hold the pose, right? Hold the pose.
You get deuce. I like it, man.
Who shot rock, guys?
But it just shows you that's a tolerance, right?
Yeah,
if you don't pick
absolutely.
the yellow, they knew that the back blue was there, and the key was to know the tolerance. And again, from those strategy courses that I took in at Curling Alberta, Mike, starting to pay off in this live stream business.
You're a quick learner, Steve. I mean, God, for a Monday night curler, you know quite a bit. I think you're underestimating your ability. I know you play look bigger than Monday night curling. I know you used to play provincials back in New Brunswick back when you were younger, much younger, but still.
Yeah, back in the young Terry and Grant Ottershaw days.
Well, we'll see what Cooey decide to do here. He's going to come in here.
You know, Mike, with the new rules, I could go play at a New Brunswick again.
Yeah, well, maybe. It's they still have to approve it at the association level for sure. Cause
Oh, then there's no chance.
We've had one team supposedly try and play at another province with 4 players and nobody lives there, but they have that birthright rule now, and the province put an end to it and said, no, that doesn't work for us.
Yeah, so that right wasn't a right, it was just a birth.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, just because you're born here doesn't mean you can curl here.
You know, Mike, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't know there had to be an approval process at the provincial level. I thought it was sort of consented.
Well, it's the guidance by Curling Canada that is a rule, but I think at the end of the day, a provincial body controls who goes and represents them at a national level. So if they decide that that's not the right representative for them, and then they can maybe change that up. But how they get to that representative is up to each provincial body. So.
Well, that's good. You know, it shows cooperation, right? Curling Canada providing some enablement out there for teams, and the provincial association still having a say in terms of how that would play out and looking at the fairness and equity of that. So, again, just another demonstration of the collaboration and work that can happen between associations.
Yeah, and you know what? Looking at it right now, I mean, I'm sure some of these teams are pretty happy that their players are all from the same province because they get to play in these events and. Or only bringing in one player from somewhere else that has to. Fortunately, in Alberta, we don't have to isolate for any amount of time, so it allows certain players like a BJ Neufeld to come in for a month and curl here. But, it makes it tougher for if you play with a team, say, like a Mark Kennedy situation, plays with Brad Jacobs on Ontario. That's, it's a long way to travel, and there's not a lot of travel going on right now, so. Who knows how much curling they're getting in.
And you really can't virtually curl together, can you?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I threw a rock here and then you maybe set that up.
Set that up and let it happen. Well, maybe we're onto something.
Maybe we could try that, Mike.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an Okotoks Banff virtual event. I'll have a team here, you have a team there.
Okay.
And then we'll have a spotter who sets up the other teams. I like
see
that.
The results.
I like that, Mike. I think we're going to do that.
Something. That's definitely physical distancing.
January 15th, people. You come watch the live stream. It's going to be Banff versus Okotoks virtual game. It's going to be Libis
Versus Young.
versus Young.
Clean.
Wow.
Close.
I love this. I love where we're going here,
There
Mike.
could be something here.
I love it.
Yeah, not bad.
Play the role.
Maybe the big TV shows are trying to grab a piece of that action right now. Maybe we'll see Sportsnet call us and want to put it on.
Let's make it reality, Mike. Let's make it a reality curling virtual tour. Let's call it a tour now.
Yeah, might as well.
Let's take this on the road.
We'll get a few games going.
Yeah. Let's make it a 3-part. Like, you don't want one to settle it, right?
No. It's got to be best 2 out of 3 or something.
15th, 22nd, and 29th.
Okay. I don't know if those dates all work for me, but let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you.
Okay, you heard it here.
So Kennedy actually opened up a little bit here.
Because I think you want to be able to rub it and push it to here, but try to not roll so much like almost like a boardish, right?
Yeah, out turn.
Which turn is easier with board though?
Cooley's got to be careful here. They don't want to leave that double like.
I think the end turn's easier
You know,
with board.
for Kennedy to get his deuce. So.
Yeah, the end and it should hold there pretty good. Yeah, I would say like easy board if you're
Looks
comfortable.
like
playing
Hardy
easy
just
board.
drew in for a
Like,
3
Wow.
in the 7th end.
Big 3.
Okay.
And 7 for Hardy. That's. But as we've seen earlier, it seems like Botcher didn't have a trouble scoring 3 right back earlier in the game. So.
Well,
That
they're
one's
going to
not over
head to
yet.
8, and it's going to be an 8-5 game for Hardy up. But like you said, Botcher very capable of throwing a 3 right back. Meanwhile, in our game here, Mike,
Cooley's got to play a slight little hit and roll here, or a nose hit even is fine. I don't think a nose hit will leave a double.
got to be careful with this.
This is the spot the curls earlier. They lost a couple earlier here.
Never,
Not what you want to hear out of the hand.
never. You're on the top here right now.
Trying to make it curl here. It should
Oh,
go.
it's going. Look at it
nice.
go.
Hard. No. East. Nudge it.
Sit.
It's not bad. That's
Shot.
pretty good.
Oh, it's whether he can stick around.
Or can he just straight draw for 2?
Perfect. It's just a roller coaster coming down, eh?
That really came, eh?
Get to 3/4.
Yeah, we've seen that spot curl. I don't know why they're surprised about that. It was curled all game in that spot, and they lost some earlier in that exact spot earlier in the first couple ends. So
That's hard to get rid of the 7 though and stick around.
That is almost a perfect roll.
yeah, that's real hard to get your deuce. That's for sure.
But I like what you said. I mean, without being silly, you can come around that easily and get to bite and button with the way it's curling here.
Yeah, you could try the out-turn draw and get all the way around the
What do you
ball.
think's keeping him? Is it just because he has to get out so wide that the weight and the curl is
Oh, they're
not
trying
known?
to find a way that they can just tap that out and stay. So if they think if they play some kind of hack weight hit on that one in the full 4, that they can stick around on the side of the 4 for a second shot. But I don't know, it's extremely tough.
We'll probably get to about there, which is enough.
Yeah, it's still
So
there.
if you plant it dead on the tee, you're going to make
Yeah,
it.
I like the out-turn draw to the side. Throw
just
tee
don't know
line
if it
weight and
ever
hopefully it
holds
curls
up.
You
in
could
there.
even draw down to your own blue.
You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little more
That'd be
risky
hard to
because
get
if you
by
touch
knee.
that yellow, you might bump it in for shot. So I think the out-turn is
Not really seeing
safer.
anything, but I think you know.
But whatever you feel comfortable with, for sure.
3/4 control.
Got to go with what you know.
To 3/4 control and just hope that.
I said so.
Now they're going to play a hit, it looks like.
I think we got enough.
Well, some great camera work there by Thomas and Jamie Oliver, giving us the
That's where
lay of the
2/3
land.
Should still stick in the 8, right?
So what do you?
Yep, they're going to play a control weight hit and try and hit that top yellow 3/4, and hopefully it moves the other one enough to get out and stay for
It's like the
second.
perfect shot, man.
What kind of weight do you like?
Control. Just kind of hope that our shooter dies after contact and.
So what's the final call here, Mike?
Yeah,
Control weight
3/4,
hit on
2/3,
the one
somewhere
at the
there.
top of the 4. Trying to play the double and stick around for second shot.
So he's thinking
Anywhere on-
3/4 plus.
Anywhere on the broom
think an inch
side, it
more
makes
rolling.
the double,
Sure,
no
yeah.
problem. And they're just hoping their shooter will stick around.
It's just got to stop before it
Like
gets
with
to
control,
the
that almost
outside of the
looks like a
12,
nose
right?
That's
berm,
correct,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
Stick around the 8-foot first deuce.
I guess
Big
just
shot
a
here.
half-inch more will hold it.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I'm fine with that.
Of course, he doesn't get too much of that top yellow one. I mean, that's what he's going to have to outcounts sort of the back yellow one when it gets hit, right? Because there's no sweeping behind the
Really?
tee line.
No, that's right.
Yep. Easy. Yep. Clean. Clean.
Close here. They're clean.
I
It's
like it.
Hard. Hard.
real close. So
Really
they're going to hit
hard.
enough of that yellow to get it out of the rings. Not
No.
quite.
Great try, though.
Good try. Yeah, it's probably impossible, like they said, to stick around anymore. I mean, they hit that as thick as they could to stick around. Well, there we go. After 7 ends, we got Cooey 4 and Kennedy 3. So Cooey will have the hammer coming home, up 1.
The only shot was intern with back 12.
I like it.
Hit a 2/3 of it. I think it would have just hung on for second shot by an inch, but it was. I don't think that was. I don't know. I'm not convinced that was there.
No, I don't think it was there. Not after where I saw it roll.
Intern back 12, 2/3 of a stone. Here's your deuce. I said.
You can hear Mark or John and Ben talking about what
Hit
Kennedy
2/3
should have
of the one
did.
on our top roll in the top 4. Stick in the side of the 4 foot, but second shot by 1 inch with back 12 weight.
That's the only way. Yeah. Okay, chips. These
Nice
ticks,
three,
let's
boys.
make 'em.
Are you playing the chips?
Yeah.
We gotta
So
beat.
do you think I was heavy on that one last night, or did you like that weight?
Which one?
Well, we missed the line call. Like who? Oh no, sorry, that was an air treat. Well,
was
fuck.
like-
I mean, you can't.
They're there
Half tight.
discussing what they're
Eat
going
it,
to do
Ben.
on their first
Nice
shot.
three,
much
guys.
weight.
You got to throw 2. Tight, tight. Nice 3. Clean it.
Okay, clean now.
Doesn't
So
look in.
Kennedy's
Go.
trying to
Hard,
throw one just
hard.
short of the rings here.
Hard, guys.
Got to put up a center guard. You got to go one tight and then one long. And
Good sweep. Good judge.
Go, bud.
Oh, back line weight. Sorry.
Back line.
wow, just stopped short of the
Back line. You
rings.
betcha. Especially
3 more inches
Yeah,
and Cooey
back
gets to
line.
hit that. So they're trying to chip this in the ring so they can hit it the next time. Because again, in the free guard zone, you can hit the rocks in the rings. You can remove your own stones, but you cannot hit the
just move.
guards
Well, that's,
until
what,
the
that's what I want.
free guard zone is complete.
Close, Sean. Hard.
Tad heavy. Little heavy.
They got to go here for line. It's going to hit it pretty thick.
Take that shooter. Take that shooter.
These are a little
That
bit
shooter.
easier to make
Right.
because the opponents cannot
Boy,
sweep the
Benny.
rock.
Shot rock.
Very nice shot by Ben Hebert.
2.5.
So they're going to go 2.5. That's just over halfway guard. So between the hog line and the top 12, they're going to throw one in just past center, just past halfway. They're kind of limited. They have one center guard left, and then you're going to
Go
see
for
a
line if you can.
session of peels.
Can't hurt it this time. Hard line.
What would you do, Mike, in virtual curling here?
Both of you guys.
Virtual curling, I would
Hard, hard,
shut
hard.
the screen off for a minute, and I'd run down and place it in the right
Go 2
spot.
or better. Hard, hard, hard.
A lot of
And
glitching.
I just, oh, sorry, yeah, lost the Wi-Fi connection there. No, you'd want to throw up just exactly what they're doing. You'll probably see them. They might hit the open one, or they might just chip this one in the rings again. Yep, they're going to play the same shot. Notice he's lining it up, because if he chips it into his blue, and that blue in the ring goes out, that's okay.
Yep.
Hard. Wait, good. Hard. Whoa. Close, John. John, close. John! Really hard. Go hard, boys. Gotta go. Head down, head down, head down. Hard, hard,
Real
hard,
close.
hard, 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 hard.
Really coming down.
Hard beach.
Very nice shot. Now, notice where those yellows are ending up. In the 6th end, Ben and John talked about that they might have to play that draw again in the 6th that they played. So if you think about how this end might play out, those rocks could potentially be in the way on that path that they know and they were comfortable with.
That's right. And you certainly know Kennedy isn't going to be moving those yellow rocks.
No, he's just hoping for anything up front
You know
right
what?
now.
I think this is the spot. Cross center.
Yeah, it's something you always have to keep in mind as the end progresses is what are those
Just
draw
1.5,
paths
2.
that you're going to have to use, and you know, inadvertently times they get blocked up.
Yeah.
Then you got to take a new path, and new paths are different.
Yeah, the ice has been good the whole
Nice,
time,
nice.
though. I mean, I haven't seen a change
Line's
in
good.
speed at all, so they should be comfortable everywhere, but you're going to see some peels after this.
Line's
So
good.
again, we're going into the 6th rock thrown. You are allowed to
Line's
peel
good.
the rocks now.
Just here, boys.
All right.
Right here. We're there right now. Right here. Line's good. Brad a bit. Yep, yep, yep. Hard, 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 hard.
Good finish.
Good sweep.
Thick half.
Thick half. They're going to try and peel it into those blues in the house and
Half. Yeah, if we're going to go over the top. Yeah. Right.
try and get them all or get a few out here. Got to be a
Remind-
little careful. You don't want to hit and spin into the rings.
My view is what's at stake here. The winner of these two games will play tonight at 7 p.m. in the A qualifier.
Sorry, Kev. Shoot.
Well, that'll be a heck of a game either way. Over there, it looks like Hardy's in control of that game.
And this is a triple knockout, so the loser drops down to the B bracket. Still 2 lives left to qualify. Certainly, all 4 teams playing extremely well, so you would
Same, just
think
less,
they would
less
do
ice.
well down in the B.
Yeah, they're just trying to get through to qualify right now and get into the playoffs on the on Sunday.
Well, same.
Back
Okay,
in that
line's
guard.
better.
They're trying
Line's
to throw
good.
that guard again in that spot.
Just here. Here this time.
We're past the room this time.
Looks close.
Just do it now.
Yep, 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 yep.
It's a nice shot.
Shot, Aaron.
Again, we're going to see another peel.
Straight peel this time, John.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you get
Give her a go.
nothing crazy.
They're trying to
not-
straight peel because they don't want to
We
leave
got,
us
we got
another
the,
guard
the
up
both can
there.
hold it. No.
Just going to hit it thin,
Watch
straight
that
peel.
yellow.
Watch the yellow, maybe.
Oh, another great shot.
Thanks, Bodo. Just split the T line.
Of course, once this game's over, we'll have a small break, and then we're back at 2:30 this afternoon. First round of the B division, or B event, I should say. On sheet 1, we'll have Meek against Appleman. Appleman losing their first game yesterday, and Meek, of course, losing in the first round yesterday at 4 p.m. Hodgson on sheet 2 will play against Team Jakes.
Where's the broom go?
Last last week's winner, Team Jakes, at the Airdrie event. There's up-and-coming junior team out of U of A,
This
and
looks okay.
had a big victory last
Bury-
week
bury
in
a
our
corner
first
rocks, okay?
WCT, or well, not really WCT event, but our first men's Alberta Tour event that we're running this year. So that was a big win for them.
Yeah, always good to get out of the season early and get a win under your belt. It sort of alleviates some pressure as you go through, but also puts a target on you.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And they'll play against Hodgson,
it's better to be good late than it is early sometimes in curling, but
yeah, and they'll
we'll
play
see.
against Team Hodgson, who gave Cooey a good run yesterday. Took them right to the 8th end. So that match will happen at 2:30. Then we've got Manson playing against Team Sturmey. And finally, we've got Libis, name familiar to you, playing against Van Amsterdam. That'll be a tough, very good game to watch. 2 really strong teams there. Of course, Libis, that team being put together this year, very strong, with Riley Helston, and it's got Michael Dumont and Michael Hendricks. And, of course, they've got a 5th that can jump in, Zach Pollock. So a really strong team, and I can just see them continuing to build and build and build. And, of course, last year, part of that team going to the provincials and getting some great experience against these same teams we're watching, and good performance last year, Mike.
yeah, they
can get
made
rid
it
of
to
that
the men's provincials, and we're not sure, maybe the youngest skip to ever skip at a men's provincials. We don't know the exact record. And it was a great experience to come in there, and they got to play against Botcher in their first game, and then they won a few, ended up 2 and 3 for the round robin, and just narrowly missed the playoffs to get a shot on Sportsnet. But that's their goal, is to get back there this year, and I know all these young teams and all these teams playing this weekend are hoping to be there when the year's at the end of the season.
And, I think one of the benefits to being able to play against, the Cooeys and the Botchers and the Hardys, all these teams throughout the I guess the fall season before that time, is it's going to make them a little more familiar, and they'll get rid of some of those oohs and ahs and autograph thinking thoughts, and it just makes them more familiar. And I think anything that's more familiar becomes a little easier to play and a little less intimidating, would you say?
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm sure it's a little nervous the first time when you're playing against them, so but you know what? These kids, they show no fear. They just get out there. And they make so many shots. They've been in so many high intense situations that, you know what? They're holding their own, and we'll see how they end up as the season goes. But again, it's kind of an experience year. You're just trying to get as much experience as you can to play against these better teams, and next year, once everything gets back to normal, you can build your way up to the ranks and maybe get into the slams and some of those bigger events down the road.
Yeah, and just a reminder, we mentioned all the games happening at 2:30, but did not mention which game was going to be our feature game, Mike, and that will be Andrew Manson, the Team Manson, playing against Team Sturmey. So it'll be the first time for both of those on our stream here. A chance to Sturmey, who lost in the finals last week, had a good run at the Airdrie event, and of course last year losing on the last rock to Botcher at the provincial finals.
Almost made to the Brier himself. So that'll be a good one. It'll be a tough test for Manson team, but it'll be a great experience for them to get on live stream. I'm sure all their family will be watching.
Yeah, and of course, as we've seen with our tremendous camera operators, the Olver brothers here, that if there's something on an adjacent sheet worth watching, and or if our game ever does end early, then we've got the ability to show the other games, and we'll certainly keep you up to date on those as they go. So that's our feature game at 2:30, Manson Sturmey, and then I can tell you at 7 p.m., which would be our next draw, 7 p.m., it will be the winner of Sheet 2 and Sheet 3 here playing against each other. So the A final, the A event final. So some great curling tonight as well.
I was here with you.
Awesome. Yeah, great to watch. And we're getting lots of people tuning in. So Kennedy's going to try and just maybe get shot behind this corner. Cooey threw one out in the wings here, out in the side, just to lure him to go over there so they can get rid of some rocks. But
So if we park this on the tee, we can be.
I think they can get shot here, so I agree with them. If they get just buried around that yellow, that they can touch the side of the 4 foot.
And not to keep harping on it, Mike, but we should tell, as in golf, Saturday's moving day. We've got 4 live streams Saturday, 4, starting at 8 in the morning and ending with the last one at 8 at night. We do have 4 hours between the draws. The reason we've done that here is we want to make sure we have time to sanitize the lounge and make it safe between draws. The teams all leave, then they come back. Chance to make it as safe as we can, so we left that little extra time.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that gives the ice guys a lot of time to get the ice up in tip-top shape for the players. So
They've been scraping between every game, and I think it's showing.
Hard.
Does he have it? Does he have it?
Just rub there. Sweepers recognized that was a little heavy, so they didn't want to sweep it too much.
That's just breaking hard too.
Well, yeah. I mean, lots of rocks in play here, and Blue's got some in there, but really Cooey, with everything wide open, has to be feeling pretty good at this point in the end.
Okay. Rip it out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's set up okay for him right now. He's thinking he's going to be able to smash something on his last couple rocks.
I don't want to stagger it and give him that out-turn.
Well, looking over at the game on sheet number 2, we do have a final there. Hardy, after taking 3 and 7 and cracking that open, was able to hold off Botcher in the 8th end. So we do have Team Hardy moving on to the A final and awaiting to see who the winner of our game is and who their opponent will be.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Hardy has a big following. There should be lots of people watching tonight at 7 p.m. for sure.
Shot.
Nice shot there by BJ Neufeld. So now they're going to probably freeze on this yellow down here, and then maybe Cooey will smash it and then leave the come around on his last one, or coming around right now, trying to get in there. Well, that drops Botcher down to the B side, and he'll wait the winner of Jakes and Hodgson's. So our feature game tonight, whoever wins that one gets the pleasure of going on to play against Team Botcher.
As buried as we can get.
That's not correct. That's not our feature game, but Jakes and Hodgson's play tonight, and the winner plays Botcher and after that. So our feature game is going to be Manson and Sturmey. I think that's what you said, didn't you, Steve?
I did, Mike.
Oh, that's so much I'm paying attention. I'm trying to watch the curling game here, Steve.
But you do have it right that Botcher's just dropped down to the B event, and he will await the winner of Jake's Hodgson. That game will be at 7 p.m. tonight, so we will have Botcher back on at the same time. Just not playing in the A. He'll be playing in the B, but
We got to get that Team Jakes on this feature game here because I'm sure everybody in Banff will be watching in to watch Desmond play. Local celebrity here in Banff.
Line's really good. Hard, get it there.
You got a good one here.
Beauty. Hard, hard, hard. Hard, boys. Hard, 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 hard.
Get it? Yeah, he did.
Just rubbed on the guard.
It did, but it did put them to shot rock, I think, Mike. Without the rub, it would be buried, but not shot over the yellow.
What kind of weight you like, Kev? You want to throw at it, or it's likely going to come into this.
Yeah, they don't want to touch
Looks like
this
a
one back
hack
before,
waiter,
right?
guys.
Because
If you want to
that's-
stick in the 4 foot, you got about 3/4.
I don't think you want to leave a pocket over here. I think they'll probably just rip it out. And
Yeah, because we just saw there, if that had drawn around, it wouldn't be shot. So we really can't bury and be shot.
it's pretty close.
Half rock
Pretty close.
is
They
over
might,
the
they
top,
might
yeah.
be able to get there, but you don't want to
But
roll and
a
leave a
third
pocket
is
over here
kinda-
either.
What kind of weight are you thinking, though, Koo?
Pretty nice spot if you want to throw, like, you want to throw heat.
I like easy.
That,
Not scrambled. Easy.
Not poached either.
No, over easy here. Just trying to hit and roll out, I guess. Or roll over to this bunch of rocks over here.
Yeah, you do want to make sure you don't clip your yellow one. I mean, it's in such a good
Weight's
spot
good.
for them
Whoa.
right now. Just got to be
Close,
careful of
close.
that, eh, in the rollover.
Hard. Really hard, Beach.
whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
off.
Trying to roll, stick around in the 4 foot, maybe to make them make a play on it, but
It's fine. Shot.
No, it's,
I don't know that.
well,
Good one,
there's a
Koo.
little pocket there.
yeah.
It could maybe slightly tap that yellow and sit in the pocket, make him draw the 4 foot. I think that's what I'd be playing.
Yeah.
Like if we don't rub that 2 on the last one,
Maybe
we might
just-
we might over curl.
I agree, like
I.
We might not have got shot rock. Well, it's
Yeah, it could stay just.
But I mean, like, yeah, if that doesn't touch that.
You
we
were
might
right,
actually
Steve. I don't
spin
think they
off
would have
the 4
stayed
foot
shot
and
rock,
then
so.
be shot.
I think we still would have.
Yeah, this pocket.
The other option is like you
This
just go
pocket, though, I
split
think
the
is
T-line right here.
something they can use. I mean, certainly Cooey's going to have full 4 to draw into, and
I think, right?
8th end of the game, it's something that you'd expect them to do. But you know what?
He
You never
probably
know.
just threw
Yeah,
it
And
no, just
to
throw
your
T-line
point-
here with some wall behind you
could
there, and you
still-
can't really remove it, so
In the 6th end, they purposely wanted that
that path.
path, and that path
No-
is blocked, so they're going to
Notice
have
that
to
rock
come the
is
other
still on
side.
the play. We talked about that earlier in the end.
Yeah. You know,
It's
things
going
are
to force them
swinging.
to play that intern that they're not 100% comfortable with. Problem is, if he leaves it too high, Cooey might just pick it out too.
Yeah, because he does have
I think
second,
ideally is
third,
like
so he doesn't have to stick around. So you're right. If it isn't perfect and there's a wiggle room there for him, you know that Kevin's going to hit it.
Yeah, so
Got to be
But-
precise here, and he's going for it.
First things first, Kennedy's
John
got to
threw
make
here,
this.
and it actually was pretty gradual and nice, right?
Would you feel comfortable going a little bit less, and we could always just tickle that?
Oh no,
This on the safety
we
edge?
can't move anything.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think just like edge of 4, an inch inside edge of 4 should be close. I think. Hey.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's probably right. They can't move it because I think if they move it, he'll just pick it out. So just on the 4 foot line, on the tee line, just hoping to.
Split the T
Got to be
line.
close enough to make him draw.
We want to be like a foot short of both those rocks and force them into, yeah, then just kind of cross the fingers, I guess. Just an inch
That's
less,
a great
really.
comment. Heard, I'm sure lots of teams said that about playing against Cooey when he's at his
I'll just
best.
give you guys 2 more feet.
Hope isn't a great strategy, but it's still a strategy, Mike.
It still is something.
Hold it right now. Okay, well then, it's close. Easy, easy.
Don't expect this to be light. You always have a tendency to be a little heavier in this situation when your
Line's good.
line's good here. They're happy with it, and maybe.
Right in. Line's pretty good. Right in. Whoa. Dead freeze if you. Whoa.
Well, I think you're going to see Kevin Cooey just send a missile down here and make that go away.
Those are
Need to be a little bit shorter. Might have forced him into the draw, but
over there.
he can come off his yellow. He can just straight pick it. It's just hit it right in the crotch there, and that blue's going to be sailing out the side. nose hit that goes. It's pretty hard for him to miss this one. Anywhere on the broom side, it's gone.
There's that lift.
Clean.
There it is, clean right out of his hand. Pretty smooth. And there they go. Well, that makes our final. That'd be 3 for Cooey.
Good luck, Lenny.
And Cooey will be moving on to the A qualifier tonight at 7 p.m. against Team Hardy. That'll be our feature game. But tune in again this afternoon at 2:30. And you get to see Manson versus Sturmey. So tune in. Hope you enjoyed the game. We'll see you guys tonight.
Say one last thank you to our sponsors, ATB at the ATB Banff Classic. Great supporters, Banff Curling Club, Town of Banff, and of course Curling Alberta. We'll see you again at 2:30 this afternoon, and we'll be bringing you more curling and more curling tonight at 7 p.m. Thank you to Fenya, thank you to Thomas, thank you to Jamie, all of our on-ice people, and Mike for doing the commentating. He's done such a good job. We're going to bring him back at 2:30. He'll be here to do the game again, and we look forward to having all of you with us. And please remember, you can use the chat box. We're always here to see what you've got to say and respond to you. And give a thought to virtual curling. We're going to have that coming to you, we hope, here starting in January. It's the Okotoks Banff first ever virtual curling championship. Team Libas against Team Young.
Thanks, Steve. Time for some lunch.